Oh man. Hi Adam, how's it going?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing, Skelly?
Good, good. Um hey folks, welcome to another episode of The Frenzy. As you can tell, it's just Adam and I tonight. Oz messaged us he's feeling under the weather. So folks who are just tuning in to watch Oz be his awesome self, apologies. I hope you'll stick around. I know Adam and I are usually Um, we usually, well, how would you describe us? We're definitely
Um,
contributors.
yeah. Well, so here's the thing. Oz is the powerhouse
Yeah,
speaker, right?
yeah.
And then you're rounding up with keeping the conversation going, and then I just pop in with a few factoids here and there.
So without the powerhouse here, we'll be fine. I'm sure we'll be fine. But I'm really excited about tonight's conversation. You have an amazing slideshow, an amazing Battle Ram blog report for tonight, which actually funny. It actually aligns quite well with what we're experiencing right now with the movie and the not to give any spoilers, but the marketing plan for the movie that we're seeing unfold right now, which is kind of amazing to see. I don't know if I've had this experience with as much with a movie before. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
I remember when Christopher Nolan signed on to redo Batman. I was checking out comicbookmovies.com constantly, and there was a Batman on film. Yeah, it was called Batman on Film website. I don't know if it still exists, but every little update that was happening was was released by the studio. And I feel like that same thing is happening with this Masters of the Universe movie, but it feels a little bit different, maybe a little bit more, I don't know, um, like here fans, you take on the marketing of this. It feels like that.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but we just got another Frenzy co-host that popped in, so we're really excited, Uncle Sean, to welcome Shawnee here.
Yay.
Let's all go to the movies. How's it going,
we
Sean?
It's going. How are you
we
guys?
do we doing hoodies here? We can go
Oh
with
I
yeah,
that.
I
have to. It's
forgot
like
my
10
hoodie.
degrees colder in the basement than it is in the regular house tonight. So it is what it
I,
is.
I would do that, but my headphones are too big for it.
Yeah, I've been wearing a hoodie every night lately
Hmm.
as my pajamas.
Yep.
Um,
I don't blame you.
because I love not, I decided, I just prefer not having hair. When I have hair, it sucks. I always feel like super self-conscious and like I can't figure out what to do with it, and I don't
Hmm.
like to think about that. And I'm and part of me, and this is going to sound ridiculous, part of me is always like a little jealous of folks that have receding hairlines. That
Hmm.
sounds crazy, I know, but that's part of my psychosis. I don't know what it is. Grass is greener, I guess, but
I will trade you, Skelly.
don't don't. It's a mess. It's a mess. My Armenian genetics really produces a lot of hair, and it's really frustrating. Anyways,
I love how
um,
you're telling that story, and I'm nodding along like I know exactly how you feel. But I've been doing this for like 27 years. I couldn't
yeah,
tell you what it's like to have hair anymore. It feels weird when it grows out any further than what it is right now.
yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like winter time is probably the hardest for people who don't have hair.
Yeah.
But that's what hats are for and hoodies, and I guess you get used to it, right?
You get used to it. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
what's weird is when I was growing out the beard,
Mm.
every time I shave that off, the front of my face is freezing. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with this? The top of my head doesn't do anything anymore, but if I shave my beard, then yeah, I'm like freezing the rest of the day. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think our
I think it's
bodies.
psychological or something.
I think our bodies genuinely. I think our bodies acclimate.
Yeah.
And I know that that's true, especially with my beard experiences. You shave it off in winter and your face gets cold. But if you, when I used to constantly shave, my face would be fine in the winter. So I don't know. Well, everybody who's tuned in, we've got a lot of folks watching, which is very, very cool. We're going to go through the chat here pretty soon and say hello to folks that are tuning in. For those of you who are new, I see a couple of names in here. I see one name right now, looking two, actually, maybe. No, one. So that might be a new person tuning in. Just to let you all know, forewarn you, we are all intense Masters of the Universe fans. And that's really what brought us all together in the first place. And so we are in this new situation with a movie coming. And yeah, Sean, you gotta stay warm, buddy.
It just looked weird with the hoodie on. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing, man? But yeah, anyway.
It's an exciting time, and we're trying to not get carried away. At least I'm trying to not get carried away, but I'm having a hard time not getting carried away with all this. So we'll get into it. And we're definitely going to throw some shout outs tonight because some folks have seen the movie. I don't know who those people are who have seen the movie, but those people have informed people that I tune into and watch, like Mega J and John Campia, and then also AJ from He-Man, He-Mania.com. So there's some people who have attained information from others who have seen the movie or seen the test screening of the movie. And so we're going to be talking about some of that stuff. And then, as I mentioned before, we got a really cool Battle Ram report that Adam put together for us. So do stick around, folks. Sean, I feel like it's been a minute. How are you doing?
Just, same old, same old. I mean, last time you guys did an episode, I was trick-or-treating with my kids. So that was just, the whole night was just trick-or-treating and taking them out for Red Robin afterwards and letting them have, kids be kids night, basically. I was the only parent at Red Robin that had dinner with Superman that night. Pretty cool.
That is awesome.
That is cool.
Was like, I want to be Superman. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to fight you because that's my boy, so I'm good. But
I love that. I love that. My wife teaches TK, and she has a student in there right now that is such a Superman fan, and this is a 4-year-old, right? He's such a Superman fan that he has multiple Superman costumes. It was like that kid's got his head in the right place. That's awesome. And they represent different Superman representations. So that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure Superman is going to come up in tonight's conversation. So
we'll see. We'll see how I can weave that in there.
We'll weave it in. We'll even weave in. Sean, you and I, we're going to weave in the Muppets too. We'll find a way.
I don't have anything Muppet. Oh no, I do. What the heck am I talking about? I got my boys right here next to me on my desk all the time.
Hey, there you go.
Nice. There you go.
I got the balcony or the balcony.
Yes, I've got mine.
Thanks to you, actually. I remember you were the one that influenced me to do this. So yeah,
they're right here behind the Frenzy emblem. There, I actually ordered a little shelf from Amazon so I could give them a perch. Just one. It's like a little bit. It's not long enough for the base, but it works.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Malonsky. So Malonsky, if you're new to the show, welcome. And Malonsky said something. There are two types of people: those who prefer Superman and those who prefer Batman. I don't know about you, Malonsky, but I've been both, and I feel like I currently am both. I love Superman and I love Batman. In fact, we were just talking. Were you talking about that live, Adam? Or were we talking about watching? Yeah, Batman on film.com when the Nolan movies
coming
that's
out.
Right. I'm super excited to find out what kind of Batman we're gonna get from the new DC EU or DC. Is it DCU or DCEU that James Gunn is heading? So
DCU this time.
yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with Batman. But I love Superman too. Let's go through the chat. We got Alan, Vine Jungle Figure Factory is here. It says, I have needs. We do. We're going to talk about those needs tonight. We're going to talk about those needs. Melansky here, by the power of Grayskull, start the show. Yeah. And then Alan said, I don't feel tardy because we were running late. That's fine. Nostrum82, hi all. Good to see you here. And hey, Eric Perryman, great to see you here, Eric. And Ronald Embry's here. Great to see you here, Ronald. Love having you here. Aria here. Aria here is a creative, constantly working on 3D renderings, primarily Masters of the Universe stuff. So great to have you here, Aria. Fellow Armenian as well. And JMac, we got JMac here. Says good evening. Good to see you, JMac. And then here we are. We got that makes sense. It's Nolan. All right, Nolan. Great to have you. Without Oz here, I'm saying it. He always says it better, but without Nolan here, it's not a live stream, right? Is that what Oz says?
Yeah.
And I it's good to have you here, Nolan, as always. We've got a number of people watching here. Don't forget to click like on the video, folks. That way the algorithm conjures some appreciation for what we're doing. I don't know how that works, but anyways.
The algorithm rhythm is going to get you.
Yeah, as soon as I said algorithm, it threw me off, and now my algorithm is off. I really don't care that much about the algorithm, but I am excited to be here and talking about Masters of the Universe. We don't really have a plan for tonight because if you're a Masters of the Universe fan, then you're already here for that reason. You've already seen all the stuff that's coming out. But there are certain things that I definitely want to talk about. Have you guys seen any of the hype that's been going around based on the screenings that have happened and stuff like that?
I scan it like really quickly because I'm usually trying to do something else at the same time. So I have this subliminal almost awareness, but yeah, I haven't been diving deep into it.
Yeah. Well, you've got a lot on your plate, Adam.
Yeah.
But with Battle Ram blog and He-Man.org and being a dad and a job, it's a lot. It's a lot to juggle, for sure. How about you, Sean?
I'm not fooling around. I'm doing important stuff. That's going to be my catchphrase from here to eternity. My daughter actually, when we watched it recently, my daughter even loves saying that line, and she's like, "It does sound like you, Dad."
Yeah,
like,
man.
Exactly.
As soon as I saw that scene, was it in the trailer? It was in the trailer, right? I was like, Sean, that sounds like Sean. It feels like Sean. And that's just because I'm also like a fan of yours. So like hearing a version of you out there, and especially since it was Superman, like that was just so cool to see.
I will never say that is not a compliment because hey, I was raised to love Superman since pretty much the age of 3, I think, or maybe even younger than that. But so yeah, movie-wise, the one thing that I keep seeing more than anything, which not to be a downer, is a lot of people are really, really bummed that Jared Leto is Skeletor because they really don't want him involved in Masters. And the last how many projects he's done have not been that great financially. So it makes more people nervous going into next year thinking this is what we're going to have. But on the other side of the coin, the one thing I saw recently was like the sword fights are amazing. and like the stunt work and stuff, they really go at it. Apparently, it looks like the one thing I read was like when He-Man and Skeletor go and do like hand-to-hand combat, or like sword to havoc staff combat and stuff. It looks like they're putting their all into those scenes, and they're heavy hitting each other and stuff. I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty decent.
Yeah, it's just a huge relief. I mean, the only live action sword fighting we've gotten from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe was the 87 movie. And aside from fan projects and stuff, but like, you watch that epic, battle at the end of the 87 movie, and it's just like, and I know there were a lot of issues with that scene. They had to go in and they illegally commandeered the studio just to shoot that scene, which I think is really a cool backstory. But we are going to talk about Jared Leto a little bit, or Leto, however you pronounce his name, because there have been some positive reviews of his performance as Skeletor, and we're going to talk about that. And maybe we can get into that now, but also people talking about the sword fighting, people talking about how the movie begins on Eternia, goes to Earth, and then ends up on Eternia. So it's framed, the Earth experience is framed by some pretty epic Eternia scenes, which sounds fantastic. But yeah, the sword fighting description and the battle descriptions sound really cool. And this is where I get self-conscious about this, because I'm genuinely fighting my excitement. I'm getting just as excited for this as I was starting to be, and I was worried about the Superman movie. When the Superman movie was starting to get good reviews or starting to get positive hype, I was really nervous about that, because I was getting excited, because goodness knows we needed something like that. And I feel there's a lot of pressure for this Masters of the Universe movie to actually be good. Let's see. We've got Molansky saying, the only bright side is that I heard Skeletor's face is completely CGI, so it may just be Leto's voice and body. That's the impression I have from like the final sequence descriptions that I've heard. And Alan, Vine Jungle Figure Factory, let this be our final battle. Yes. So
I posted like a question for like on the Facebook for He-Man.org. Like it got a ton of like, I didn't like sit and monitor it, but I'm like, it seems like people are either like, oh, Leto's in it, or Leto is in it, so it's gonna suck, or it's not catering to Gen X, so it'll suck, or I'm gonna wait and see before I make up my mind.
Yeah. Those are the feelings I've seen. There are a couple of things. Let's talk about Jared Leto. A couple of things that I think are important to address. But actually, right before that, before we do that, I do want to give a shout out to AJ from HeMania.com and John Campia. I know that John Campia doesn't watch this show, but John Campia knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody, and he talked about it on his show. And then, of course, Mega J had an episode that came out right after people had seen screenings, where he had an anonymous participant named Mr. Motu, who talked about his experience watching the movie. So shout out to all those folks who have already put this information out there. Jared Leto is a bit problematic, and there have been circulating rumors about him and his behavior and his private life that are just like weird. I don't know how much of that stuff we should believe or not believe. I mean, we don't know much about this person. I can tell you, just from my experience of watching him on film, it's always hit or miss. And there are moments where he does a really good job. Like I think he was convincing in Blade Runner 2049. Was it 2049 was the sequel to Blade Runner? I think he was pretty convincing in as the young punk kid in Panic Room. I think he was pretty convincing as the Hatbox Ghost in the more recent Haunted Mansion movie. But with the Hatbox Ghost, that's proof that he can be a good actor under CGI, because most of that film he was a skull. Watch it, because he's a skull-faced guy, and his acting was fine. It was believable. I'm a big fan of the Haunted Mansion and all the lore, and fan of Hatbox Ghost, and I didn't think Jared Leto ruined that. In fact, that movie's not that bad. So there are a lot of movies, and Tron, like the new Tron movie that he's in, just like bombed. I mean, that could be a multitude of elements with that movie.
I don't think the other one did that well either. I don't think they've had success with Tron ever, really.
The Tron sequels have been the second one, I saw it when it came out. I was excited about it, and it was not good. And then when I saw the trailer for the third one, I had zero interest. I'd much rather watch the original Tron movie over and over again, and that's not a great movie either, but I have a deep nostalgic connection to it, and I love that movie. Yeah, so I don't know if it's I don't understand really if Jared. I don't know if I believe whether or not Jared Leto is a bad actor or a good actor per se. I just think that he carries with him a lot of strange stuff. So if his face is completely covered, I'm going to be elated. If it's just a skull Skeletor, if we don't have a Keldor version, I'm going to be very happy with that. And I know I'm talking about this, but I want to get this out there. His performance, by the people who saw the movie, the Masters of the Universe movie, his performance was compared to Tim Curry as the devil character in the movie Legend, which if you're a fan of 80s movies, you know that performance is epic. Tim Curry is just phenomenal as that. I forget the name of the character, but he's like this red devil with giant horns. And then also compared to Tim Curry in the Rocky Horror Picture Show as the character Frankenfurter. And I'm a fan of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I'm a huge fan of Tim Curry. And so those comparisons made me a little bit intrigued. Because is he like a little bit fabulous and over the top as Skeletor? And that would make sense, because that's kind of how Skeletor is in the cartoon. That's not the Skeletor that maybe Sean, Adam, or I want to see on the screen, because we all love the early mini comic Skeletor. And but I'm intrigued. I have to say I'm intrigued. Let's see. There's a lot of stuff going on in the chat. Let's see. This is good. This is good. Nolan says, I just didn't like his Joker. Otherwise, he's not a terrible actor. His Joker was, it's unwatchable for me. I just can't. I can't watch that movie. The Suicide Squad movie, that first one, is just not that great. And so is that Jared Leto, or is that just because it's not a good movie? And Molansky says, I feel that even if the movie is great, I wonder if it still may not bring in a big profit due to the Motu being a niche market. Do you think it can bring a big enough new audience? I will say this. People thought that about the Barbie movie. A lot of people were worried that because Barbie is just a girl's toy, that not a lot of boys of our generation collected Barbie. Heteronormative boys. I guess is the best way to put it. They were worried about that, but that movie just like was fantastic and was really successful. So I don't know if I think Motu being a niche market might actually work in its favor, to be honest with you. Malonsky. And Duchess is here. Good to see you, Duchess. And then Eric is talking about the Joker. I mean, with Nicholson and Ledger proceeding, I mean, yeah, it's like hard to fill those shoes. Nicholson's performance is a little cheesy, but it's amazing. It's my favorite on-screen Joker. Ledger's performance is intense and believable, and I enjoy watching him perform. Like, so yeah, it's a lot to compare with. I worry about anybody that has to play the Joker after those two guys. And Alan, this is he's speaking to me here, and Sean too, and Adam. Dark Alcala Skeletor, please, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The thing, at least from my perspective, and I've given this, like I've kind of given up on what I want, because what I want isn't going to be what every kid watched when they were in the 80s after school. And like I was already exposed to the mini comics. I was exposed to like the Golden Books. I was exposed to their recordings and all that. That was my Masters of the Universe until Filmation showed up. And there were things about Filmation that I was like, that's not what I thought it was going to be like. And to this day, there's things I like about Filmation, and there's things that I'm just like, no, I discount that, because that didn't make my head canon when I was a kid, and it made it maybe less creative for me, depending on what it was that really grabbed my attention and stuff. And like Skeletor being over the top, not really the way that I like. 2000X for me is the perfect combination of Skeletor, because it felt like the mini comic original Skeletor, but you had an origin, so you didn't have it feeling like he's this creepy thing of darkness that's out stalking the Eternian wastelands.
Mm-hmm.
But he also was so cunning and just evil. Like, he literally was this, literally the Lord of Destruction on that show, versus the thing that drives me crazy is Skeletor. When people think of Filmation, they go, "Meow," and it's like, he didn't even do that on the show.
Yeah, that's
like he was like rolling and falling, so he's making like an noise and all that,
Yeah.
So I know that's probably what they want to channel here, because they're trying to tap into the nostalgia, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I guess the way I look at it, if it will work, is like when the first Transformers, the Michael Bay movie, hit. That was a big deal, because people finally got to see, here's literally Optimus Prime in live action. We did not think we'd ever get to see that. Right. And to be honest, that was probably the best reason to go see it. Optimus Prime and some Bumblebee. Beyond that, you tell me who the hell was in that movie, because they all look alike after the two of them were off the screen. I couldn't tell the difference between those guys. And it's like, that one worked. G.I. Joe didn't. Why didn't G.I. Joe work? Because they went too sci-fi with it and turned it into something that it really didn't need to be. It needed to be basically the Village People being Butch and going out there kicking Cobra ass, And so, like, for me, I'm looking at this.
That's the best description of G.I. Joe I've ever heard. That's fantastic.
Yo Joe,
Yo Joe.
But the thing for me is, like, if you're honoring something that made people have this be a gateway into their imagination when they were a kid back in 1983, and you at least give some of that. Like, there's a movie reviewer out there, his name's Movie Bob. I like listening to his reviews. He does these crazy, and he's got this New England accent, so it makes it even more interesting. It's like he sounds angry when he talks about things he loves.
I love that. That's great.
But he was talking about that when he did a Superman review that was like an hour and a half long, where he talked with a buddy of his. And the thing that I loved was he asked him during the middle of this Superman review, he goes, So what do you think about the Masters of the Universe movie that's coming out? And the guy's like, I don't know. We got the 87 movie. He goes, I'll tell you what, the one thing I've seen is they show the logo for the movie. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, nope, you're not going to get me. You're not going to get me. And all of a sudden you hear the beginnings of the theme from the old 80s cartoon. He goes, damn it, you got me. I got to see this movie just because playing on that for me. And I think that is going to go a long way for this. It's the minute you hear the strands of the old theme song, if you watch that as a kid, there's no way you're going to say to your inner child, we're not doing this. That's something your dad would have said. You're going to this because it's you and part of your childhood that you love, I think.
Yeah.
It's like Jared Leto is like a footnote to me. It's everything else about this that's really important. So
yeah, Jared Leto's a punk. I
can't. Oh, we have somebody who's joined us, and I have to say, Mitch, you're. I feel bad for you with the name that you have. It must be hard, difficult. Let me change my phrase. It must be difficult for you to go through life with that last name.
Yeah, I guess so. Kumstein.
Kumstein from the New England Kumsteins. Don't forget that.
It's pronounced Kumstein. Kumstein.
It's Kumstein.
It's pronounced
Human.
I've been kicked out of night putting.
Thank goodness I recognize that guy's voice. And if it's who I think it is, there he is.
What's up, Bobby?
All right, Bobby. Good to have you. Good to have
I forgot how to control the camera. I couldn't. It's like, how do I do this?
Good to have you, Bobby.
Yeah, I thought since it's the one before Thanksgiving, I'd show up.
Oh, thank you. It's good to have you back. We missed you.
Sorry about the name.
This is when you say, I missed you guys too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess so. I missed you guys.
He goes, good, and you? And that's the end of it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm good. You guys?
Yeah. Well, as you probably know, Mitch or Bobby, you probably know we've been talking about the hype that's been emerging online about the new Masters of the Universe movie that's coming out this summer, and we're trying to navigate all that stuff because Bobby, for folks that don't know, Bobby Dangerously has joined us. You only don't know, everyone who's watching knows you, at least for maybe a couple of people don't, but Bobby is a longtime co-host of The Frenzy. We love you, Bobby, and we're glad you're back here tonight.
I appreciate it. Love you guys too.
Yeah. And Bobby's a huge fan of Masters of the Universe, so his perspective is going to be nice to have. So Mitch Kumstein.
You can't say it, can you?
No, I can't.
I'm just going to change it and put it in a real, just Kumstein. How about
that? So Sean, did you complete your thought there?
Yep.
So I think I think that I don't really want this movie to be funny, and I don't really want there to be a lot of Filmation kind of like silly puns and I also am scared that and I've already heard that there might be some meme references like Adam's laugh and maybe Skeletor saying, what does he say? And he turns around and runs away.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, but then he also says like, until next time. And then he runs away.
Time.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't really want that, but I also know that if done right, the humor can be a massively helpful tool to get audiences to react positively to what's going on. Humor worked really well in the Barbie movie, and humor worked really well in the Superman movie. So I'm on the fence, and I want Skeletor to be like the 2000X Skeletor, because I agree with you, Sean. Like that Skeletor rules, but that Skeletor is also snarky and funny and fabulous. So he's just a bit more evil than the Filmation Skeletor.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do? What do you do with it? Part of me wants him to be terrifying, and part of me wants him to be a villain that you can love too, like the Skeletor. Even in the early mini comics, there's something about him that's lovable, right? I mean, maybe it's his butt cheeks hanging out, but there's something lovable about the guy.
You talk about my name, but you're talking about Skeletor's butt cheeks.
Hey, man, I don't want to. What I don't want to do is insult the Kumstein family legacy. I'm okay.
So you're looking more for like Merman in the bathtub farting, and then you can see the bubbles. Is that what you're looking for?
Merman in the bathtub? I would not. No, that's not what I'm looking for. And
you're okay. I see what you're saying.
He's wanting to look at Skeletor and think to himself, "Stupid, sexy Skeletor."
yeah. He's got to be a little bit dumb, but he's also got to be super powerful, and he's got to make stupid choices. He's got to make his pawns do his work for him, and he also has to be a bit menacing. So there's got to be a good balance, I think. And since people have already compared him to Tim Curry in Legend, this performance in the new movie, Tim Curry from Legend and Tim Curry in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, what they basically described is those two sides of Skeletor, which kind of makes me a little excited.
Yeah, that can work.
I have to admit, if you compare anybody's performance to a Tim Curry performance, then there's something good happening there. It would be like comparing a performance to a Gary Oldman performance. It's going to be like, oh, well, shit, that's going to be good. Like, because Gary Oldman never sucks.
No,
he's always good. Tim Curry is always good. Doesn't even matter what movie he's in. That's my worry.
Yeah, in the 90s, I was always looking for what's his face? My brain's fried. You just mentioned them.
Tim Curry.
No, the other guy.
Oh, Gary Oldman.
Yeah, Gary Oldman. I'm sorry. Sid Vicious. Yeah. I used to try to find every movie that he was in and watch it.
Me too. Me too. You and me both. And Immortal Beloved is announced.
Yes.
He's playing Beethoven. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I was working at the theater at the time, and I saw that a few times. It was great.
Me too. I still love watching that movie. It's even though it's not a 100% honest portrayal of Beethoven, that performance is amazing.
Yep.
He's amazing as the mangled person in that sequel to the Silence of the Lambs movies.
Oh yeah.
And he's amazing as Winston Churchill. He's just always he was amazing as Sid Vicious.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
and that's like one of the best performances of a real person ever.
Yes. He was right on with that one.
He was, and maybe not everybody else was right on.
No. But maybe Nancy was. She was really
Nancy. I don't know the name of that.
Chloe. Chloe something. I can't remember her last name.
She was fantastic.
Yeah, she was.
So, like, if somebody so I feel that way about Tim Curry. Like, Tim Curry is very dependable as an actor. Always has been, and even in his current situation, I just watched an interview with him recently, and he's still a badass. You know what I mean? It's so cool. Anyways, he's a powerhouse of a personality, and if the Skeletor can be that, if Jared Leto can do that on screen genuinely, and that we're not getting our hopes up because somebody said, yeah, he reminded me of Tim Curry in Rocky Horror and Legend. If he can genuinely do that, then I will be pleased.
I forgot to mention something though.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it. I mean, for me, I know I said 2000X, but for me, another one is Langella. When I
mhm.
saw that movie in the theater,
Yeah.
and I was, when was I, 87? So I was 9 years old, 8, 9 years
Mhm.
old when I saw that movie. And I still remember watching it and going like, Skeletor is literally scary in this movie
Yeah.
because you didn't know from moment to moment what he would do. And like, I love that he fried Sauron. I love that there's that moment with him and Evelyn where he's got her head in his hands. And as a kid, I'm like, is he about to kill her? You didn't know in that movie. And that was really cool. You know, like if
Mhm.
Langella brought like this menace that the cartoon never bothered with, but the mini comics had it, for
Yeah.
me at least. And the other thing I was just thinking for some reason, throwing around actors, and unfortunately this actor has passed on, but the more I keep thinking about it, Alan Rickman would have been an amazing
Oh,
Skeletor.
yeah. I mean, when
Him
Alan,
as the
yeah.
sheriff of Nottingham, that
Oh,
would
he's
have been
so
a
good.
really interesting Skeletor for me. And
Being
it's
that,
like, it could have been comedic, but he was menacing and he had his vibe too, and that worked for me on that level. And I'm like, unfortunately, 1991 is a while ago now, but that would be kind of the vibe I could deal with, to be a comedic yet villainous,
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. He's amazing. Alan Rickman is amazing, and his legacy is phenomenal. And when Alan Rickman was still acting, I always thought that he would have been a great Skeletor. And I knew Kevin Costner would come up at some point tonight. I knew it had to happen. But yeah, I mean, Langella's performance as Skeletor is really cool, and I have a deep appreciation for it. And he does that. He does the thing. He's basically being the theatrical Skeletor that we appreciate. He just isn't. There's not a lot of comedy in Langella's performance, and that. But he's still. I know I keep saying this word. He's still fabulous as a villain, and he's Shakespearean, is what he is. And that's Skeletor needs a little bit of that for sure. Alan says Langella killed it for sure. Duchess says, "What about Willem Dafoe? Willem Dafoe would have been amazing, and I still think Willem Dafoe would be an amazing Joker. But is I don't know, like maybe he was too expensive, or something. It would, if I was doing the casting for a Masters of the Universe movie, Willem Dafoe is without question someone that would need to be involved in some capacity. Maybe and who knows, maybe he'll play a different villain in the Masters sequel. And there's still a chance for him to play the Joker, so maybe we'll get all the Willem Dafoe we want. I agree. Vine Jungle Figure Factory. No need for comedy from Skeletor. He needs to be intimidating. Yeah, it's just that it's just that's eliminating the Filmation universe completely, and I don't think that's necessarily the best approach. I'm not saying I disagree. I think
you have to have some comedy in there.
Yeah.
Just like you guys talk about the Joker all the time. Look how sinister he is, but he still has that comedic feel to him a little bit. I mean, I know he's a clown, but I mean, you know what I mean. But he still has that. It's sinister comedy, though.
Yeah, he's
you know what I mean.
He is.
I mean,
like
okay,
he's
like
the
take
Joker.
like that. Yeah, that's what I said. Like the Joker, like when he blows up that hospital in the second Batman.
Yeah.
And he's like, but before that, he's rattling. It's like that's the comedy.
Yeah.
And then he blows up and it's like tries to kill all the people, whatever it is. But yeah, you need that stuff
and
to make him more. You can't just be all evil and that's it.
Yeah, you can't. I mean? It's not going to work. And actually,
right. And it won't be as intimidating. He won't be as, I guess you could say, humanized. I guess, but you still need that comedy in there to.
I think
to make it work. I think.
I think you do need comedy. It doesn't have to come from the villain. Like you could, like if you look at some of the Marvel movies, a lot of the times the heroes are the funny ones and the villains are more serious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it could go either way. It just depends on how it's set up.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned Marvel because some people have compared this movie to 2 different Marvel movies, 3 actually. So Guardians of the Galaxy as a franchise, I guess, as a series of 3 movies. I think people have compared it to the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie and the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And then, so that counts as 1. I'm just going to say that because it's Guardians. And then they also compared it to both the first Thor movie and the Thor Ragnarok. So those are my 2 favorite Thor movies. And then they also compared it to Lord of the Rings a little bit, especially with there's a journey sequence. I mean, you can't have a fantasy movie without a journey, right? So that's cool. I get excited about that. Like those are things that I've been missing from contemporary movies. Going on that journey with your heroes, and so those comparisons are good too because, and we've talked about it before on the Frenzy many times. If there was a little dose of James Gunn in there in this Masters of the Universe movie, especially his Guardians of the Galaxy movies, like if there was some of that in this movie, then the comedy is acceptable because the comedy is paralleling what's at stake. The comedy is emphasizing what's at stake.
Okay, so do you want a Michael Myers Skeletor or do you want American Psycho Skeletor?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Well, you want...
Because Michael Myers is all evil all the time, nothing.
Yeah, you
American
want...
Psycho, he's got that little bit of comedy to him. Yeah.
You want Patrick Bateman... You want that character, the Christian Bale character in the American Psycho. You want that character as Skeletor because the sociopathic aspect of him is that kind of smile while I'm doing something bad.
Exactly.
That creates a distrust, and then that's a real villain. I mean, Michael Myers. I'm a fan of Halloween and
I get that,
but those villains are just so predictable because and they're just have one thing in mind. Even Freddy Krueger with all of his one-liners and stuff, he's still like a predictable villain. But Patrick Bateman, that's an unpredictable villain. So Alan said, "I want Freddy." Right as I said it, basically, I want Freddy Krueger Skeletor. I mean, there might be some of that there because Skeletor is bound to have one-liners. So I mean, can you tell that I'm on the fence? Like for me personally, I'm on the fence. Like if it goes one way too much, it's gonna suck. If it goes another way too much, it's gonna suck.
Right.
And as I said earlier, even in the mini comics, you don't really know what's going on in Skeletor's head, but what you're looking at, even though it feels scary, there's also something absurd there. It's like almost like an unspoken comedy underneath the surface of those mini comic illustrations. Like, what in the world's going on here? And I want a lot. I want a lot of that. And for people who are new to this, because as I think it was Molansky who said earlier, maybe I might be getting that wrong, but I'm not going to scroll back. But like, if it's so niche, it's got to like be niche in order for other people to be like, whoa, what the heck is this? This is kind of like amazing. Because that's why the Barbie movie worked, to be honest with you. It went far with the weird. It just like, these are toys. This world that Barbie lives in is ridiculous. Everything's plastic. That was unheard of. That kind of approach to making a movie that would be successful when that movie came out. And it kind of like broke open some options for us as audiences.
Another movie that actually would be a good one to reference here too. The more I think about it, I mean, he was like the punchline to jokes for how many years? Aquaman did $1 billion, if I remember right, in the movies, and it's one of those things where he's a niche character. How many people would say Aquaman is their favorite superhero ever? I have not met anybody who's ever said that. But how they had a ton of people show up for that movie.
Yeah,
it also helped that it had
Momoa.
Yeah, it had him in there, right?
But and that's and they did have Willem Dafoe too, which
and Willem Dafoe.
I was
just going to say that. That's right. Yeah.
But because Willem Dafoe still would be my perfect Skeletor, and I still feel there's an alternate reality where he also played the Joker in '89 Batman. That's just me. But
I believe it.
When it comes to this, it's like that. I look at stuff like that, and I'm like, for some of these superhero movies, you can start going to like Black Panther. How that raked in a ton of money, and it's a niche character.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you
Guardians of the Galaxy,
yeah, and you respect the characters at least, and you're not playing them up to be something that they're not, I think that's where a lot of people give it a chance, because they're like, I always thought He-Man was lame. This movie looks badass. What I gotta go see what this is about now. And all they knew He-Man of was memes for the last 20 years, for all I know. You know, I mean,
yeah. And Aquaman was always. This is embarrassing. I still haven't seen those movies. I've been hesitant to watch any of the Aquaman movies, but I've not heard horrible things about them. But you're right. It's like, if you got a character like Aquaman that everybody always looks at and is like, that's the cheesiest superhero I've ever seen. When my friends and I would play with our Kenner, the superpowers action figures.
Yeah.
You know, I never wanted to be Aquaman. Thank goodness one of my friends always wanted to be Aquaman, but that's because he was blonde and he wanted to be the blonde character. But like,
now we know who bankrolled that movie, right there.
Yeah. So this is true. I mean, it can work, and Guardians shows us it can work, and Barbie shows us it can work, and niche can work. And in fact, I think niche is the best approach. You know, when James Gunn said he was doing Superman, I was like, oh man, that's a huge risk, because Superman's not niche. He's the opposite of niche. He's like, you know, the hero that everyone knows. So, and it doesn't matter where you're from on this planet, you know Superman. So, yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be it's a tricky thing. And I mean, have you all seen Bumblebee?
No,
I have not seen it yet. I did see part of Kubo and the Two Strings. So these are the Travis Knight movies. I still
Kubo
haven't
is
seen
really good.
Kubo's
That's what I heard.
Yeah. I liked all of the Leica films.
Yes, all the Leica films are great.
Yep.
So everyone that I've talked to that are nerds like us that love Transformers have said that Bumblebee is one of the best Transformers movies.
Yeah.
If not the best one.
It's the first movie that legitimately said, okay, let's go to Cybertron. Let's give you 10 to 15 minutes on Cybertron, and let's watch the Cybertronian war unfold in front of your eyes. And that was the first thing where I'm like, where the hell has this been for 4 movies? Like, this is the best thing I've seen out of any live action Transformers movie today.
That was my big complaint with the first Transformers movie, and why I didn't watch any other Transformers movies after that. It was
give that one a shot. Give that one a shot. I'd say.
I'm going to. I after what people have said, especially recently, since he's been on every Masters fan is talking about him right now because he's directing this movie. So I'm just gonna be straight. It takes balls to make a movie that is that fearlessly approaches the IP as what it is and what it has always been.
Mm-hmm.
If you approach an IP and you turn G.I. Joe into an action, thriller, sci-fi action thriller that's trying to be, I don't know, what do you compare it to? The Matrix or something? I don't even know what to compare it to. Even Batman Begins, like, that's a great movie. Dark Knight and then The Dark Knight Rises, I feel like Christopher Nolan, and this is controversial because everyone loves The Dark Knight, but like, they're too serious. I mean, where is the Batman that I grew up reading in the comic books? And so the people who are willing to take those chances and go deep into the niche, go deep into the weird, and let it be, and let these, like, all the descriptions of the costumes for this movie say that they're deeply, deeply inspired by the way that characters are represented in the Filmation cartoon and the way they represented in the mini comics and the toys.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes balls. Those colors are crazy. Those costumes, those characters are why I love, but that's why I love them so much. Mm-hmm. That's probably why we all love them. They're like, if we get a dragon walker or a land shark in a movie, mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just going to be happy that it happened because that director had the guts to do that. Mm-hmm. Despite what, like, studio heads who don't know anything are saying, like, oh, it's got to be, I don't know, it's got to be like Lord of the Rings. There's got to be some believability. I don't know.
I think they're just more like, it's got to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all Hollywood is now.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that the smartest thing that they could do, having a filmmaker like Travis Knight, he at least, from what I've seen of it, like Kubo's a great case in point of world building. Mm-hmm. When you see that story play out and all the different mythos involved in that story to make it all becomes this world that you're watching it all unfold in front of you, and it really is gorgeous for that, in my opinion. And I mean, that was the best part for me of Guardians. You saw he didn't even just world build, he literally galaxy build in that movie, because you went to multiple different locations to see what each of these different species were living like and their cultures and stuff like that. And if you bring that into Masters, that is going to be one of the most awesome parts of it for me is what is Eternia like? We never ever saw it properly in live action. We just saw hints of it because we were on Earth for 85% of the movie the first time around. So I really want to see what makes Eternia. Who are the people that are on Eternia? What do they look like? What do they dress like? All this kind of stuff. And if they go there and really, really care about it and take it seriously, that's going to really win me over. Because, like 2000X kind of brought more of the world building into that show with trying to build factions against Skeletor and all that. And even for as much as some people don't like the CGI one, which I still adore that show, that one actually went out of its way to world build the best they could too, and really get some details that were really interesting and stuff to learn. So yeah, I think that's a huge, if you can do the heavy lifting there in this movie, it's going to make coming back to it, if they do a sequel, so much more fun to go. I get to go back to Eternia for the afternoon. That's going to be great, And
So that brings up two things that I heard from the sources that I put on that I mentioned earlier. Two things. One, they're at the beginning, the movie starts in Eternia, and all of the locations, including interior locations, are felt very real. So the CGI there is to, like, emphasize certain structures, probably Castle Grayskull and stuff like that. But the interiors of Grayskull, or maybe even Snake Mountain, they were using real, or maybe even Eternos using real locations. Same thing with the outdoor scenes too. And so that's exciting because fantasy films with epic sweeping shots of landscapes and all that stuff, like that's what makes it work. And I want to see Eternia, and I want it to be believable. I want purple skies and green lumpy rocks too. So I'm hoping something like that is in there. And then they said that in the first part of the film, there's an epic battle, and that they saw everyone. Like everyone was fighting, kind of like what we have seen in Revolution a couple times, and also a lot of what we saw in 2000X, like where all the characters that you know and love and vehicles are fighting it out over something. This is probably what leads to Adam going to Earth as a young boy and then having to live there for whatever reason. Like, so apparently we are getting like these gonna have some crazy scenes where you see all the characters, and I want to know who you want to see. Who do you guys want to see? I want to see Clawful and Stinkor, and I want to see Man-at-Arms like bashing some heads, and I want to see Scareglow. I mean, I want it to get weird. What do you guys want to see?
Well, how long is the movie? Do you know?
It's, what did they say? The guy that was on Mega J's interview, he said it was over 2 hours. It felt like it was over 2 hours.
It felt like,
but it didn't feel like it was a slog. It did not feel like a 3-hour movie with lots of like, I mean, people are going to hate me if I say this, but some parts of the Lord of the Rings movies, especially the Hobbit movies, Peter Jackson it's almost like real time storytelling, and it's almost too much. So it didn't feel like that.
Well, he has to make his movies 3 hours no matter what.
That's probably his.
just like they did with King Kong. What a stupid ass movie.
Oh, right. You're going to agree with me on this, Bobby. I know you are. That movie did not need the half of what was happening in it.
Right.
Like,
that's what I mean. He just has to make it a 3-hour movie.
Especially like and I'm a fan of Peter Jackson's early movies.
Yeah.
I mean, Dead Alive's a masterpiece. But the ice skating scene in Central Park with King Kong, and I mean, come on. Just embarrassing. Yeah. Embarrassing.
I think I even finished that movie. I really did. I don't think I finished watching it.
There's some good moments, but it's hard. And so, anyways, the person that watched it said it didn't feel like it was like you were trudging through a.
Oh, and the reason why I'm asking is I wanted the length of the movie is because if they're going to throw in a lot of characters, is it going to be rushed? You know what I mean? Like, they have to get it. It kind of like they did with Mortal Kombat 2, which really stunk. And then all of a sudden they had like a character pop in and pop out real fast just to show them. That's what I'm worried about.
I think that there's
like
not
you'll see like Clawful come in, he starts fighting, and he goes across the screen like a Muppet, and then he's gone for the rest of the movie.
I'm sorry, I got to pause for a moment.
Okay,
Alan, yes, Meet the Feebles is a masterpiece. Sorry, anybody out there watching this and you have not seen Meet the Feebles, you absolutely need to see it. Anyways, yes, I agree with you, Bobby. Like there's got to be some substantive moments with these characters that we love, but I don't think that they're going to be able to accomplish that in a 2-hour movie. So I think what we are going to get is some. We're gonna have some moments with Beastman. We've seen images.
Well, I hope so.
AJ from He-Mania posted basically a confirmation that there's a scene on Earth where Beastman is chasing after Prince Adam and Tila. So Beastman gets to Earth, and this is probably why they come back to Eternia. Tila goes there to get Adam, bring Adam back because Eternia's gone to shit after that big battle, and Beastman's coming there.
Earth's gone to shit.
And we're gonna see, hopefully they'll show a little bit about what we're going through here.
Yeah, right.
Be some commentary in there.
Yeah.
Fuck this place. I'm gonna go to bed with Skeletor.
That's probably why part of the White House has been destroyed, just to show a scene
right.
where Beastman is destroying the White House.
He took a massive dump.
Yeah. Oh man, don't get me started. So Arya is saying, oh, sorry. Oh, I'll check
Check
my
your spam folder.
I will check my spam folder, Arya, for sure. And Alan says, I want to see cool monsters fight dudes with swords. Yes,
Yep.
exactly. I'm going to be happy with that. Even if Clawful, I mean, to be honest with you guys, even if Clawful is like out in the distance and I see his claw and I see some shit go down with him, I'm going to be so happy. I've been wanting to see that since I was a kid. And he better look like the toy or the 2000X version of him. But please don't. I hope he doesn't look like the Filmation version. That's my least favorite version of Clawful.
Yeah,
I have appreciation for him, but
I do too. I love him, but he doesn't look like Clawful.
He doesn't. No,
say.
Clawful was one of my favorite figures as a kid, and I want that. I want that big claw. You know, he's a fiddler crab, basically.
Yeah, right.
You know. But anyways, we're getting I'm getting sidetracked. It's my fault. Who do you want to see out there?
Well, we're talking about characters, so
Yeah.
I would love to see Merman, of
Yeah.
course. Definitely want to see Merman. I'd like to see Zodak too. I don't think he's been mentioned. Here you go.
I'm sending this to you, Skelly.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's the only one I have left out of the whole collection besides Trapjaw.
Nice.
That means
Nice.
a lot to me, Bobby. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Adam. I didn't mean to.
No, yeah. I'm fine with if he looks like that. I'm fine if he looks like the cross-cell art or whatever. Let's have Merman. I'd like to see Zodak. They probably won't. Maybe at the end they'll be like
Zodak would be awesome.
Yeah, I think he's a cool character. He doesn't get enough airtime.
Zodak's a great character for a lead-in to the sequel, like or a secret scene at the end in the end credits.
Oh, he might be part of how He-Man gets back and forth with Earth. And
he might be, yeah.
Besides, the Grayskull stuff, transports.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Anybody else?
Wave 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Just make it simple.
Yeah, make it simple.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. One thing I don't want to see is Fisto dying because that pissed me off.
No.
So not a fan.
And no fisting jokes.
Yeah,
no
stupid shit. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. He's a weird character with a giant fist.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, that fist would, if the sexual innuendo is there, that fist is not something that would work in any kind of intimate scenario.
No.
But his name is Fisto, which it's like there's no.
It would be cool if he came out and then they started playing a Motorhead song, Iron Fist. Now that would be
cool. I've heard that the soundtrack is pretty good, so that's another thing too. I've heard that there's some.
Is it modern or is it like, epic sounding? Like
both. So there's a couple of like songs that people are somewhat familiar with. Apparently, the Queen song "Princes of the Universe" that plays during the one of the Highlander scenes.
Yeah.
Highlander? No, is it Outland? Highlander? I always get this. Highlander. Sword fighting scenes from that movie.
As long as that's one from Shaun of the Dead, because I'll never get that scene out of my head if they play that song. it's so brilliant.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Supersonic Man.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I hope they don't play that because that would ruin it for me. Because I was just thinking of them dancing, hitting.
I know. It's gonna be hard. Apparently it worked, but I think most of it's gonna be symphonic type of
orchestra.
Yeah. How about you, Sean?
I mean, other than I don't want Fisto to die, I'm like, okay, I know Fisto's in the movie because I saw his casting. I know Ram-Man's in the movie because he was cast. So as like a surprise one, I'm like, I honestly like someone like Webstore or something.
Yeah,
he's one of those villains that every time I think about him, I'm like, oh yeah, I forget that I like him more than I remember liking him every time.
Mm-hmm.
So like him, or I depending if the battle is something that happens in the past, kind of like a 2000X thing at the beginning. There's a part of me that would love it if they actually did do like Wondar in there or something. Just for the hell of it. Just okay, here's that He-Man everyone would talk about, and then just put him in. He's got the brown hair and everything, running around for a couple minutes. But yeah, I'm pretty easygoing because what I heard is there's a lot of characters you wouldn't even expect to be in the movie that do show up, and it's like cameo wise or something, and that's enough for me to go. I'm just looking forward to watching it and see how many of these that I could point out and go crazy. Like, oh my God, he's actually there. That's great,
So the guy that was on Mega J's interview, he said he actually hollered a few times, like yelled out with excitement a few times because he's a Masters fan, and so like a lifelong Masters fan. So he like reacted viscerally to what was happening. So that got me excited. I'm with Adam. I definitely want to see Merman. No one's announced any casting for Merman, so I'm a little sad about that he might be out in the dark, in the distance somewhere. I might just show up in the background. But I just had a thought while we were talking about this, and I got to say it. Willem Dafoe does have an opportunity to be in a future Masters of the Universe movie as Hordak, and I think that would be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we don't know. Yeah, Molansky. Nothing's been said about Merman or Orko, so I don't know if Orko is going to be represented. That's a difficult one too, because you put Orko in a movie, and you either make him like Yoda or you make him like Gwildor, and that seems pretty limited on how you can work with a character like that. I hope Orko is in it. And I hope that they try something different with him. And they should have Griffin Newman do the voice because that was awesome. And then Alan said no Orko. I'm a fan of Orko, just saying. I know some people are not, but I love Orko. I don't necessarily like what he represents in the Filmation show, but there's something about his character that I do like.
Where my camera's all messed up.
Ooh, it's glitching.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Oh, now he's gone. See you, Mitch. I hear you though, Bobby. I hear you breathing.
Can you?
Yeah, I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
It says my browser's lost connection to my camera. Okay, let me see.
I'll
mute myself. I'll figure this out.
There's more to talk about. While Bobby's figuring that out, this would be a good time to go into Adam's battle ram report, because I think it aligns with what we're talking about as far as like what MGM and Mattel and Amazon are putting out there for us, or how we might be able to sort of think about how this stuff might be promoted. But also, I do want to say, folks who are excited about this conversation, we will be talking about Kristen Wiig here in a little bit. So hold on to your hats, because that's going to get controversial, I'm pretty sure. So, Adam, are you ready for your... Hold on, let me find my thing here. There we go. Got to get things lined up. Are you ready?
Let's roll.
Welcome to another edition of the Battle Ram Report, brought to you by Adam, author of the BattleRamblog.com website, the best Motu site on the web. He'll throw you a He-Man punch and a Skeletor blast. Be ready to get some knowledge. Take it away, Adam.
All right.
I always go like internally, like, yeah, rock on, Bobby.
Yeah.
All right. So it's kind of, I'm doing this because I just did an article kind of about this. But I thought, since, movie marketing, there's maybe a slight tie.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. So there's a couple of early documents that I'll just kind of go over, and I won't get into excruciating detail because our listeners would all fall asleep. But so there's a couple of early documents that were aimed at buyers, like retailers. Basically, the point of these is to try to convince them that, not only is this new Masters of the Universe thing, it's very well researched. We know kids are going to love it, but also Mattel's going to support you with all kinds of advertising and promotions and comics. So it just kind of goes over the whole plan. And there's two different documents. They're kind of similar, so I just have both of them. Oh, Bobby's back in.
All right. Oh, there we go. Go ahead and bring yourself in, Bobby. Sorry. All right. Even with Oz not here, this is inevitable for the frenzies. We all click on the same thing at the same time.
Yeah, I'm just using my computer camera now. I just took the other camera off. Yeah.
Welcome back, Bobby.
Thanks. Sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. So this is one this color one here. This is from Andy UC. He has this because his dad did like the store display artwork for the line. He's the same guy who showed first showed those Lords of Power prototypes. So he's a font of cool stuff. So,
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So this is a super rare document. I tried to get this actually. This was on eBay like at the start of the year, but I couldn't hang with it to the end. It got too expensive. But I did get scans from Andy. So
that's the scans are good. This would be beautiful to have. So I mean, just to to align, I think probably with every Masters of the Universe fan that grew up with these figures, that Power, Strength, Courage cover image, that's the kind of thing I want to see on the big screen. I want that energy. I want the castle to be green like that. I want that blue sky and the I don't know. I want all that. Anyways.
Yeah. 100%.
And this too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this other thing that I did buy recently, there was a similar document, but it was inside like a magazine for like a toy industry magazine. So it was one of those trade ads. So this one, it's kind of the same thing, but part of it was advertising, like as one of the things that's going to promote the line and make sure you've got great sales retailers is we've got this new series of DC comics coming out. So they had like this splash page on the left showing the insert comic, but the left one is actually what's in the ad. The actual comic was a little different. Like they updated the colors and things for it, but the DC Comics basically that was one of the tiers of their marketing plan for the year. We're going to get these official comics out on the shelves.
I love those cover. I love this cover.
So yeah, this kind of just goes over the plan for the year. So obviously the TV commercials, and you see a little picture of one of the commercials, like the He-Man versus Skeletor, the early Castle Grayskull commercial. The mini comics, that's also, all of this, we consider the mini comics our stories or canon. For them, this is a promotion, right? This is a way to promote the figures. That they talked about something called the Power Sword National Sweepstakes, which, as far as I can tell, they actually never did it. Because it was supposed to be promoted in a Sunday comic strip, which they did. There was a Sunday comic strip, but it didn't have that. It had a different promo. So interesting. Yeah. Cash rebate, which you do see in the early mini comics, that you see little clip your proof of purchase and get 75 cents or $1 back on it. That's another promo. Licensing, so they're already talking about like the DC Comics, the Halloween costumes, Ben Cooper, which I don't know if those came out actually in '82. They might have been '83, but they were working on that. There's the pop-up game they talk about, if you're familiar with that. I think I've got a picture of it later. And other licensing. And then in the corner, you see there's like a sample of He-Man and the Power Sword. That's like the rare like sample version that is kind of coveted. It's got a different logo on the top They gave that out to retail buyers, and some of the Mattel people had it too, but it wasn't. It's hard to find.
Wow.
So this is kind of just the equivalent from the other ad that I found. So talk again once you get the comics, the TV commercials, the Power Sword sweepstakes, which you actually see some like an illustration of what the store display would have looked like, but they didn't actually go forward with it.
Wow.
And then you get illustrations of the pop-up game, and they show one thing interesting on this page is they show like what the merchandising display, like the end cap down in that corner.
I love that.
Yeah. So you've got all the and the Andy Yusi's dad did the artwork for that. The actual what was actually shown in stores, but this just kind of shows the retailers this is how you set it up.
That's incredible. Every little illustration here, I want as a sticker, like a vinyl sticker I can put on something.
Yeah.
Right? The artwork, I mean, and I think it's just because we grew up with this that like this is the shit that like gets me going. It's so cool. That that end cap art down there with all the figures, and it just does something special to me. It's so cool. Even the TV with the commercial illustration on there is great too, or cartoon illustration.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. So this is some of that art from Andy's dad that I mentioned. It's really wide, so I split it up into 2 frames. It's just this big long, shelf illustration.
That.
Yeah.
Look at that gray skull, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Beast Man and Merman. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
and this is a pop-up game that they were referencing in the in the pages. I have this game. I don't know if you guys have played this before or haven't.
No.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's a cool game. It's very simple. It's kind of like Candyland, but you there's Skeletor and Beastman who are like the volcano keepers. You kind of have to get your piece past them, or sometimes like it'll shift and you go into the volcano. But it's got like all the prototype designs for Skeletor and He-Man and Beastman. So
man,
because it was done so early, it's based on that stuff.
Do you have one of these? Did you say
I do? Yeah, I've got one. That's the only game I've got. But
that's cool. That's cool. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I remember these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These were the 82 newspaper comics. But the promo is supposed to be like this Power Sword sweepstakes. It was actually just you could win either to appear in the DC comic, in a DC comic book, or you get free Motu DC comic issues. So the actual DC, like the Masters comics, I don't see anything. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you froze for a moment there, but I think we're good.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know that anybody actually appeared in the Masters comics. Maybe they appeared in a different comic, but I guess you could win some free issues.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm a dork with this stuff. I even love the bad illustrations in here too. Like, look at that gray skull. It's like somebody drew that on a napkin.
It's just got that vintage feel. That's why,
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, it is vintage, obviously, but
yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, totally. So, do you guys think that Skeletor in the movie, the Jared Leto Skeletor in the movie, this is something we need to talk about? Is he going to be purple and blue, and is he going to have a yellow skull?
I hope so.
I hope so.
Me too. If they're genuinely going with the the toys or the cartoon or the mini comics or whatever they're saying that they're going with inspiration for these characters, Skeletor better have, and I would even love it even more if he had the color patterns of the first release of the toy version of Skeletor 2 on his skull face.
Gotcha.
Pink cheek Skeletor. I want to see pink cheek Skeletor in the movie.
Well, when he blushes, you will.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Evelyn.
Yeah. His little cheeks will blush right here. Yeah.
Beastman, was that you?
Yeah. Hey, Alan, I agree. He's got to have blue skin.
Yeah,
that's right. Yep. So those were those. They don't get talked about a lot.
Yeah.
I did put these up on human.org so people can read them.
Yeah, this is great. I've always loved this little. You can't see my arrow here, but the crackle cell with Skeletor sort of screaming. Mm-hmm. I've always loved that particular cell. And since we are talking about the movie too, I do want to also mention that I really want to see Idris Elba's Man-at-Arms in yellow and green too.
Obviously,
it's got to be yellow and green.
Yep, definitely.
Or orange and green.
Yeah, or orange and green. Yeah.
Yep. So this is like between the two documents, there was like a photo one, and like for whatever reason, in the one I found, they like did an illustrated version of it. But this is basically, obviously showing off the toys for the year. And then
I mean, I keep thinking like how cool both of these would be as just gigantic posters. Every one of these slides would work as a gigantic poster.
Oh yeah, for sure. And this is just me like, okay, now I've got to point out the cool stuff within the photos. So this is an early Tila prototype with the kind of the Barbie legs or the She-Ra legs.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of a middle point. This is like the first articulated prototype.
Yeah.
She's obviously not the final figure.
Very cool. And we got to see in the movie Tila showing off the snake armor at some point.
Yeah, that'd be cool if, like, I don't know, at some battle she put it on or something.
Yeah, for sure.
These are like early samples of the packaging. They didn't have comics, and they didn't, for whatever reason, Battlecat didn't have like the black insert either. So these are like, this is what they had for the photo. These early packaging samples.
It's definitely exciting.
Mossman Sean is saying not as much print media in the modern age. Sadly, that's so true.
Yep, it's true.
I mean, really, think about that. We're all kind of as collectors of toys or as collectors of pop culture merchandise from the era that we grew up in. Our kids, what are our kids going to collect or archive? Digital media? Like, here's this reel that was promoting the Mario Galaxy sequel movie. Like, this digital media, is that going to be archived in a similar way? Will they have the same experiences that we're having right now? Like, I don't know. I kind of worry about that a little bit, but I understand it's probably not good that we're making physical media as much, or that we're not making physical media as. If we were making as much physical media as we did in the 80s, we'd probably be in a big problem. But I still kind of wonder, like, how are these kids gonna look back on stuff?
Mm-hmm.
How's that going to be archived? What was that?
It's just internet. I mean, because we didn't have that when we were kids. That's why all that stuff was printed, so we can get excited about things. Now everything's just online. You don't need that no more.
That's true, and we're doing it right now, I guess. So,
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Adam's got a whole two websites for that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Everybody,
This is true.
go over to heman.org, go over to Battle Ram blog, check out all the archives.
Yeah, but that's like as a kid, that's the only way we'd find out what was coming out was buy this stuff. Now you don't need that no more.
You look in the back of the comic books, you look what's coming up in the magazines. That's the only way.
The backing cards, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Beastman, can you see is there anything popping out about him?
The whip.
The whip.
The whip.
Small, yeah.
He can actually hold the whip. Yeah. So I showed this like on my social media, and somebody suggested, and this makes sense. Like they probably gave him that big gym whip because that was less of a choking hazard. Is what he thought. So
that makes sense.
I bet that's why he got the big unwieldy whip.
And probably because they made 1 million of those other ones, and they just decided to
right,
use
right, yeah, that too, yeah. And then this is just the
yeah,
the schedule, so you can kind of see network TV schedule. Now, I don't know 100% like if they stuck to this schedule, but this is their plan. So TV shows or TV commercials in the fall, in the summer, and in the fall and winter. So I'm not sure what they mean by spot TV or network TV. Is that like?
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Their print ad schedules, comic issues, which that would be referring to the DC comics. Promotions, they've got promotions from March to the end of the year. There is some evidence, like the concrete evidence I have for the first release of the figures is May, but there are a couple of things like this marketing schedule and one or two other things that suggest maybe even as early as March '82 is when they came out. So I'm not 100% sure.
I love this. I wish we could see what the current like marketing plan is for Mattel's toys, but also for the movie and for whatever else is on the horizon. It would be great to see if there was a system, because right now, I don't know, you all know, like, and Masters fans know, like, it feels like Origins and Masterverse are like the waves are random. Like, what are you going to get? What, especially what's popping up on Mattel Creations. It's like, here's something random, and I don't know if they even have a plan.
I think what they do is like people like what I did with when I was vintage Motu and all that shit. We just grab a hold of that image that they send out, and then they let everybody else do it for them. It saves them tons of money, and they have all of us assholes out here doing it for free for them. I mean, it's true.
This is true.
And like, oh yeah, Battle Ram blogs, his Twitter or whatever he's got, he's going to send it out and look at all his followers. Vintage Motu did it. Look at how many followers he's got. Yeah. And then it's just spreads and spreads and spreads. They're like, that's, how much money they save on advertisement just by putting up an image out there and everybody just spreads it around. It's crazy.
That's exactly what's happening. Like, we are doing this episode tonight of the Frenzy because so many people have seen the screening of the movie already. Like, and so they're relying on people like us who are willing to get out there and talk about it in a public sphere to help promote it. And I hope it's working because I want people to go see this movie.
Well, the movie's different. That'll have a budget where they have advertisement and trailers and shit like that. Well, the toy is different. Yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah. Like, we're not too far away from summer at this point. The holiday season is when movie trailers for summer movies really start to hit. Yep. So when are we going to get the trailer for this movie? They've already done test screenings. Where's the promotional materials for this film? I'm curious about all that. While we're looking at this image, I do want to bring up one additional thing that we haven't yet talked about. We have more to talk about with the rumors circulating the film, but this is a good opportunity because Adam was so generous to bring up all these slides. But so one of my biggest pet peeves with contemporary Masters of the Universe stuff is this new logo that we're seeing circulating.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. Mattel, if you're watching this right now, I'm not a fan of the new Masters of the Universe logo. I'm a fan of the logo that we're looking at right here.
Yep.
And a similar situation occurred with the Revelation series, where during the title sequences at the beginning of each one of those episodes, you got the exploding rocks and you got the traditional font and the style that is very vintage. What I did hear the gentleman, Mr. Motu, who showed up on Mega J's show, say was that when the title sequence emerged on the screen, these are I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but I'm trying to quote exactly. He said it was the classic rock motif. So if that's true, and they're going to give us the original Masters logo for the film, they gave us the original Masters logo for the '87 film, right?
Yeah, but
it was like black. Yeah, and had stars or something in the background.
Yeah. So if they give us something like this with the exploding rocks, with the red rocks, I think he even said red. So, and I don't mean to misquote Mr. Motu, but he did describe the rock motif, and that's really important to me. I don't know why that's this important to me, but I don't want to see the new logo show up on the screen during the title sequence. I am going to feel a little disheartened by that. It just doesn't have the same oomph, the same punch. No pun intended, but like it doesn't have the same power punch as the vintage emblem.
Agreed.
Thank you, Adam. That was awesome.
Yeah.
No
problem.
That's awesome. It aligns perfectly with what we're talking about. I can't wait for the season of promotional materials to start coming out, hitting online. I want a teaser. I want a teaser now for this movie. I just want to get something.
Something besides influencers talking about it.
Yeah,
right.
And there's a lot
I
of
hate
people,
that word, influencers. That just drives me up the wall.
There's a lot of people like us that are not like genuine influencers. We just like to go online and share our thoughts about things, and like that are I hope are helping to promote this thing. But it would be really great if we started to see a marketing plan emerge at this stage. I mean, I already saw the preview for the Odyssey in front of Superman, and the Odyssey comes out June 2026. So hopefully this winter we'll get the trailer for Supergirl and the trailer for Masters of the Universe.
It might come out like on Christmas or something.
I hope. Some people are theorizing that it might pop up with the new Avatar movie, but as somebody who's not a huge fan of the Avatar movies like myself, I hope that it'll also emerge online.
Yeah. Oh, someone will have it somewhere.
Yeah, someone will have it somewhere. I am that person though that like looks for cell phone footage. Like whoever's gonna post something, I want to see it. I want to see it, even if it's crappy. I want to see.
That's how I saw ET for the first time. My friend's dad had a copy of it. Someone was at the movie theater with the camera like that. That's how
like
I
Super 8.
Yeah, or something.
Oh,
and
that's so
that
good.
and Back to the Future. That's when I first saw those two movies. That's how I saw
amazing.
Bootleg. Talk about bootlegging. That was bootlegging.
Part of me misses like the good old bootlegs.
Yeah, no, they weren't good looking. It was bad. It was hard to
they're
see.
horrible.
Yeah.
They're horrible. Part of me misses
You're able to hear things, and then people crunching popcorn and shit like that. But it was still
Yeah.
kind of cool to see. Ooh, what's
Talking
this?
about
You know,
it,
you
yeah.
felt dirty watching it because
Exactly.
you know.
All right,
And being young like that, I was like, what, 9 years old, 10, 12 now?
So yeah, absolutely. And I'd be willing to watch the trailer even if it was like, shot on somebody's cell phone. So Mossman Sean, welcome to it, Mossman Sean, said that user-generated photo of Battle Cat as the MGM lion would be a fun twist for the film. So that's really interesting that you say that, because that is something that has been popping up. I think I saw it I definitely saw it on somebody's Instagram. They posted it.
That was Colt.
That was
Crane,
Colt, yeah.
Battle
Colt.
Armor Dad, yeah.
Battle Armor Dad. I love Battle Armor Dad's posts, by the way. Colt, I admire you, my friend. But the gentleman, Mr. Motu, said that it was mentioned to, I don't know if he mentioned it to or someone else mentioned it to. I don't have the transcript in front of me. Mentioned it to one of the producers who was at the screening, said, what would be really great is if Battle Cat replaced the lion at the beginning. And the producer was like, I'm paraphrasing, like, holy shit, why didn't we think of that? That's amazing. And then the producer also said, okay, well, I'm going to do whatever I can to do that and make sure that we acknowledge the fans as mentioning that they wanted to see that. And so that to me is really cool. If that happens and they have a little nod to the fans for, just putting that into the movie is a nod to the fans anyways, but like, that would be amazing. Even if it was like a cute little baby cringer meowing or something instead of a big battle cat roaring, I would be happy with either one of those things.
They could do like what they did with Tom and Jerry, where they ended up separating, and you'll have Battle Cat and Panther together, like on the screen.
Oh, so good.
Then, yeah.
That's something else too that I really want to see in the film is Panther.
Yeah, obviously.
All right, and Vine Jungle Figure Factory said Red Beastman is the best Beastman. And this is when you were going through your images, Adam, and Alan. I agree. I love Red Beastman. Part of me wants to see like a very raw version of Beastman. Yeah. I would even accept full Red Beastman too. Like that would be cool. He's going to be huge in the movie, according to the clips online of the guy with the stilts for arms, like running after Adam.
Ludo big.
Yeah, he's gonna be Ludo big.
Yeah,
maybe even bigger because he's like on leg stilts and arm stilts, like running like a gorilla would run.
Yeah.
And I know some people have strong feelings about whether or not Beastman should be a gorilla or a man. Frankly, I'm cool either way. Beastman's always had big, long, bulky arms, and it would make sense that he would use his fists to run. And he does that in the 2000X cartoon, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As long as they don't do like the Bigfoot footage where he's walking and he stops.
I mean, I think that would be a really funny Earth thing to have happen. Yeah. I saw this creature walking through the woods, and they have rough cell phone footage of him. Yeah. And that's because I'm constantly watching Bigfoot footage on YouTube anyways, so I'd love to see something like that. All right, and
I'm just thinking of you watching Bigfoot footage. It's hilarious.
I do it. I almost every single lunch break. Ever.
Seriously? Seriously?
Yeah. Don't tell my coworkers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So people got a porn addiction. You got a Bigfoot addiction.
I got a Bigfoot addiction. I am watching Bigfoot footage all the time, and I love to see the fake stuff, and then I also really love to see the stuff that is kind of convincing. Eric, that's cool. Thank you, man. I mean, it's awesome that I don't know. I mean, I thank you for saying that I'm an influencer, but I don't know if I genuinely believe that. But all I would love, if I could do anything, is get other people to make stuff. So thank you. Malonsky says first trailer will probably be Super Bowl. When is the Super Bowl again?
February.
Mm-hmm.
That's too far. Malonsky, I hope it's not that far away. Alan, I know you're a Bigfoot fan. And I do need to see your cryptid museum. Alan's a huge fan of cryptids. In fact, he honored Central Valley cryptids at his haunt that he built here in Fresno. So, yeah, I hope we don't have to wait till February for a trailer. That's really too far away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, a couple of other things. I forget who mentioned it. I'm going to try and scroll back. I did not star it, and I should have. Someone, and maybe it was Malonsky, or maybe it was Alan. Someone mentioned. Oh yeah, here we go. Now I'm getting into it. It was Eric. Daniel Benedict. So, do you guys know who Daniel Benedict is? He's a character actor. The most recent thing that I know that he did was, I believe he was Grandpa Munster in Rob Zombie's Monsters.
Okay, yeah.
I've always liked this actor. He's always a good actor. He always does a good job. And that movie was not great, but
he was in Dudes.
Daniel Benedict was in Dudes. Thank you, Bobby.
Yep.
Yes. So watch Dudes, folks.
Yep.
So apparently, yes.
Daniel Benedict's the guy doing Fall of Grayskull.
Oh no, that's right. Fall of Grayskull. What's Daniel? There's another Daniel Benedict.
The guy that was Grandpa Munster in the Munsters movies, Daniel Roebuck.
Right.
So you got me all screwed up because you told me who he was. I'm like, I'm bad with names, so I'm so glad.
But
anyway, Dudes is a good movie.
Dudes is a great movie, and also I'm interested in seeing. I have not yet seen the Fall of Grayskull 2 trailer yet, and that's really cool that Daniel Benedict. Apologies, Daniel Benedict. Daniel Benedict is basically like I'm surprised we haven't had him on the show yet, but he's like they're doing all this amazing master stuff, and his first Fall of Grayskull movie was a lot of fun to watch. So I'm anxious to see the trailer for Fall of Grayskull 2. I thought this was Daniel Roebuck putting Orko in a trailer for a movie called Fog 2, and I'm like, what is going on here?
Fog 2.
This is
you're gonna get sued by what's his face?
You just wait.
Carpenter.
Yeah, Carpenter. John Carpenter. All right, so that brings me to Kristen Wiig. So there's a lot of angry Masters fans out there with the idea, when they heard that Kristen Wiig would be doing the voice of Roboto. A lot of fans getting frustrated with that. Now, I'm not the type of person, personally, I'll just speak for myself. I'm not the type of person to be that affected if gender swapping or race swapping is happening.
Yeah, it's because you're from California.
I really don't. And even if that's the case, I really don't care. I really don't care. As long as the character is true to the character, they can be whoever they are. I mean, my biggest pet peeve is when a person plays a character and they don't honor that character.
Right.
That's my biggest pet peeve. So whether they're a different race or different gender, it really doesn't matter to me. I honestly was like, I'm a huge Kristen Wiig fan. Like, I love everything that she's ever done. She's always good. She's always hilarious. I love her Saturday Night Live skits. If I want to laugh on a day when I'm feeling sad, I can rely on Kristen Wiig. I'm a huge fan. But when I found out that she was doing Roboto, a part of me was a little bit like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Does that mean like Roboto's going to be uh, what's her name from Spaceballs? What's
Dot?
that? Dot from Spaceballs?
The
Like, is
maid,
that the
or no? Yeah,
Dot?
Dot. Yeah.
Yeah, Dot. Who's the? Why am I blinking out on the famous comedian who played Dot in Spaceballs?
Yeah, that's what's her face.
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers.
Joan
right.
Rivers. Thank you.
That's right.
See,
That's
Sean,
right.
thank goodness you're here. We'd be totally lost with names.
Yeah, I'm
All
sure.
these-
There'd be a
all
whole
these-
other fog movie out there.
all
then
these-
that you'd have
We're
to-
in the fog, is what we are.
We're all basically on the verge of being grandpas, all of us, and like, let's not talk about that. But
No, please
that's where we are. So thank you, Sean, for remembering names. Joan Rivers, amazing. Always been a big fan of Joan Rivers. Dot, and so I thought, like, is that what Roboto is going to be? Is Dot, and then the gentleman that watched the movie said that Kristen Wiig knocked the ball out of the park as Roboto. So
Good.
I'm hugely relieved because I want to maintain my relationship with Kristen Wiig's comedy, and I also want to maintain my relationship with Roboto. And those are the only things that like worry me, is if a person is going to change my relationship to a character. And I have no qualms about Idris Elba playing Man-at-Arms at all. In fact, he could play He-Man. I'd be happy. Idris Elba's amazing.
Mhm.
I'm a little sad he's sort of aged out of Bond, because that would have been perfect if he played the new Bond. But I do. I was worried a little bit, but I'm no longer worried, and I know people are going to be frustrated, but I feel like Kristen Wiig is a reliable actor and will do her best to be a version of Roboto we perhaps have never seen before, which I'm
That's what I
okay
was
with.
gonna say. Is it like styled differently than
Don't know. No
the
images.
body and all that? Yeah, so I mean,
No images.
I was
No images.
for when I heard that, I was like, well, does it matter? Because Roboto had always had kind of a high voice, and
Yep.
had that robotic delivery.
Mhm.
It's not necessarily like a very gendery kind of role.
That's the
So
thing. Like,
yeah,
When-
it's a robot.
when I say "Hey Siri" and my phone says, I mean, my phone basically, my Siri, I don't know if your Siri is like this, but my phone is basically
I don't
like,
use Siri.
she's like, yeah, like, what do you want? But it's a female voice in a phone. The phone is non-gendered. The voice is gendered. The phone it's a piece of plastic and metal and glass.
Yeah, but
So-
you rub it all day.
when I'm scrolling for
Bigfoot.
footage. But yeah, I'm not worried at all. And you make a good point, Adam. It's like, what difference does it make what voice comes out of the robot? If she looks like Dot, then I think we have bigger problems.
Yeah, right.
and in
The
fact-
gold skirt.
In fact, that would be offensive, right? So I don't think
Yeah.
they're going to do that. I think it'll just look like Roboto with Kristen Wiig doing a voice for it. I also think that it's fascinating that they would cast Kristen Wiig in this role. So Roboto has to have some sort of significance in this movie, right? You don't cast Kristen Wiig in a movie without having at least 10 minutes worth of dialogue at the very least. She's got to be throughout the whole
Right.
movie, right?
Could be. I mean, maybe like Roboto had a pretty big role in the, Revelation show. So maybe there's some kind of arc like that.
Yeah, I hope so. I like the Roboto arc in the Revelation show. What do you guys think? I just talked for I feel in my head, I feel like I talked for a half an hour about it, but
No. I just hope it doesn't, to me, I hope it's not forgettable like Revelation cartoons were to me. I can care less about those. I just hope it's something memorable.
yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. I haven't like I enjoyed those shows, but I have not rewatched them.
No.
Like I rewatched 2000X and
Mm-hmm.
the vintage cartoon, like the Filmation. So
Yeah, I think
I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah, there's something about it. It's there's some good stuff. The CGI cartoon does a lot of stuff that I want. I feel drawn to rewatch it because part of me was like, at first I didn't like it, and then I loved it, and then there's like some interesting aspects to the storytelling there. The Revolution for me, it's like I could have done some of this better in my backyard as a kid, and but I liked Revolution a lot, and that's the one I've been thinking about going back and rewatching was season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of missed some comments here. So Alan said, I mean, Roboto sounding like Alexa wouldn't suck, right? Yeah. Attack Track had a female voice. No biggie. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we all want to see Attack Track, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Once you add the robot voice, it will work. Motu Prince, welcome to it. Robot Filter, yeah, okay. And then Allison Retro Toy Princess says they cast Bill Hader as BB-8 for the Star Wars sequels. So yeah, that's awesome. And then Eric says, "Hey guys, I still watch Filmation, He-Man, and She-Ra on a regular basis. Every year I go through it. Every year I go through them.
It's usually about this time of the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always watch it around the holidays.
Yeah.
This year I'm not, but yeah.
And Geek Illustrator Dad 4982 Revolution is top tier for me. My kids.
Wow, I haven't seen that guy in a long time. He used to follow me on Twitter.
Welcome back. That's cool. Yeah, Revolution is the better of the 2 seasons, in my opinion. And that's the one I keep thinking like I should go back and rewatch.
Yeah.
And the hoverbots should all make Steffi Graf noises when He-Man hits them. That ages us. Steffi Graf would be great. Yeah. And Motu CTR, welcome to it. You are missing out. Revolution were epic and amazing. I've seen the former over 20 times and latter probably 10 times. Probably the best Motu stories ever told. That's cool. Yeah, I think that some of us keep going back to the Filmation show and the 2000X show because there's a lot of nostalgia there. At least for the Filmation show, for me, it's like what I grew up with watching when I could. And there's just the sound, the animation, the characters. But 2000X was like, I think for all of us, it was like, holy shit, we're actually getting more Masters of the Universe. And this is it's more serious a little bit. It's like, it's more intense.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
It was the
battle scenes was great.
It was also just like seeing toys on the shelf again for the first time. I mean, after what felt like ages, and it came back.
What did they come? Oh shit! When did they come out with the Filmation, like the DVDs?
The new ones, or
no, the original?
You have those were like 2005, 2006.
Was it that late?
Yeah,
I think were those the covers by like Emiliano, right? He did the covers.
Yeah. And the side panels all line up. You get that epic scene.
I got all of these, and I got the She-Ra ones, and then I got the New Adventures.
Oh, that's cool that you have those. I sold mine. And I had them. I had that DVD set, and I sold
the reason why I'm bringing it up
dumb
is because you got to think about it. When 2000X came out, we weren't watching all this shit. Because it wasn't available.
Yeah, it wasn't.
When you saw a new cartoon come out, you're like, yeah, this is great. Now you can watch everything on DVD and all that stuff now. But back then it was just like you said. If they came out, I can't read the print yet. I don't want to go through it all.
Adam, am I I'm saying Adam because maybe you remember better than the rest of us, but I feel like the 2000X action figures hit the shelves before the cartoon did, and the first wave came packaged with VHS tapes.
Yes, I had one like that.
They had the vintage show.
Like it had a cartoon. It was I think it had 2 cartoons. I can't remember if it was 2 or just 1. Yeah. I had the one with the big block. I can't remember the guy's name anymore. Like I said, names are bad for me. But he looked like Jabba the Hutt. That character.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, mine had that. My brother actually got me the He-Man with that one, and that was the only one I got. Was that?
Huh. Yeah, I think Bobby probably knows that better than I do. But I do think the toys came out a little bit ahead of the cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't, because I remember that because that was the year my son was born. 2003.
2003. Yeah.
So I remember the cartoon because I remember leaving work early. It was like grade school. I'd run home because 3:00 was when Filmation came on. So I leave work at 2:30 to be home by 3:30 so I can watch it at 4. And but I think I didn't get the toys until after I started watching the cartoon.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I
guess August 2002 is when the show came out, and I know the toys were before then. Yeah.
I remember. So 2002 was
right. 2002.
Yeah. 2002 was right before So I marked things by when I moved to. I moved from California to New York, and I lived in New York briefly. And when I was working in New York, I had a shift at a hotel, and I'd have to be there really early in the morning. In 2003, the Nickelodeon was already starting to show episodes of the cartoon really early in the morning. Okay. So I would get there and get everything set up for my shift, and I'd be watching it like the reruns at like 6:00 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, as I'm doing stuff for my job. I have really fond memories of that show because of that period of time in my life, and before I moved to New York, I saw those toys on the shelves, and I was grabbing them, what I could get and what I could afford, and it was exciting. And right before that, of course, you had the
commemorative ones.
The commemorative vintage style figures.
2001. That was my first Masters thing I bought as an adult was a 5-pack of those commemorative.
Oh wow, you got that.
Yeah.
I only bought Skeletor, and then I got Trapjaw later on. I don't have nothing anymore. It's all gone.
A real technical notification for Allison Troy. It has your stream split, and the people watching the phone view are in a separate chat. Odd that the standard view. So StreamYard has this new thing, and I tried it out tonight just to see what it would be like, to see if we could all be in the same place at the same time. I'm not sure if we are, but there are 2 streams happening. There's one that's vertical for phones, and there's one that's landscape for people on their laptops or whatever. So I don't know how it works. I don't even know if it's worth doing again in the future, but thank you for noticing, Allison. I hope it's not too confusing for folks. So let's see. I think from my notes, I've covered everything based on what's been revealed. We're going to have Beastman chasing Adam and Teela through Earth streets. We're going to have a big epic battle in Eternia. Oh, Adam and Teela are going to be young in the first part of the movie. So they're child actors playing Adam and Teela in the first part of the movie.
So there's a time
there's a time change. So there's like an epic battle between probably because King Randor and Marlena have been cast. There's a battle between the dark forces and the Eternians and stuff, I guess, and that's happening. And then they got to send Adam to Earth, and that makes sense because Marlena's from Earth, so it makes sense to do that logically. And then if they tie that in, right? And then Tila goes to Earth to find Adam. Adam is pursued. It's kind of like Adam is pursued by Beastman and maybe some few other characters too that go to Earth, which could be interesting, to be honest with you, to seeing how human beings might respond to this, and and then they go back to Eternia, and that's when Adam does the journey to become He-Man, meets and has a final confrontation with Skeletor. We know that during the epic battle scene, there's going to be a bunch of characters shown. There's going to be apparently Man-at-Arms is a badass in this movie throughout. And there's some comedic moments on Earth. Obviously, I'm sure he's made friends. He's been there for a while, and so they're wondering what's up with this weird creature. I'm piecing it together is exciting, but I
don't have to see it now. You just told me the whole movie.
I know, but I'm wondering how much of that is just framework for more intriguing stuff, and I'm hoping that it's pieced together well and in a way that works for all of us. And it sounds to me like they're trying to do that. It sounds to me like Travis Knight is a fan of Masters of the Universe. He's stated that he's a fan. He grew up with it. He is his dad used to run Nike, I guess, so I'm sure he had all the toys. So he has an appreciation for it that maybe other filmmakers wouldn't necessarily have. And I'm trusting in that. So we'll see. Allison says, I'm waiting to hear how much Jared Leto is in this. Still crossing my fingers. He goes by super method acting and builds his face off. Yeah, we'll see, Allison. I don't know. And then Geek Illustrator Dad 4982. I trust Travis Knight. I just hope it's more Guardians of the Galaxy and not like Thor Love and Thunder. Well, it's been compared more to Thor Ragnarok, apparently, Geek Illustrator. So if you like the Thor movies, I think we're all in a consensus that Ragnarok's awesome compared to Love and Thunder. So hopefully since they are comparing it to Ragnarok and the first Thor movie, hopefully it doesn't go into Love and Thunder territory.
Yeah, that was a little too much.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's just it's just
I got burnt out.
Those movies. I couldn't
anymore. Yeah, I loved Ragnarok, but the Love and Thunder was just nonstop goofiness. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was just a little too far.
No, it's pretty bad. I mean, there are some moments that are like, where did this come from? What? So Ragnarok is appropriately, and it's balanced. Its weirdness is balanced, and its comedy is like it works. The puzzle pieces seem to fit together correctly.
And it has Jeff Goldblum.
And it has Jeff Goldblum.
The thing about Ragnarok versus Love and Thunder for me was Ragnarok is just a narrative, and it's told omnisciently.
Yeah,
Love and Thunder was told from Korg's perspective of his buddy Thor, and that is where the problem is, because he's going to make Thor into the best thing that ever happened. And if you think something better happened, Thor's going to kick its ass. Yeah, doesn't matter what it is. And when I watched the movie, and I'm like, this is what they're. Even my kids were like, why are we watching this? And I'm like, you guys wanted to see this. I don't know. Like, it's just it didn't. It was the same as the Lone Ranger movie with Johnny Depp that came out years back. The whole movie was told by Tonto's perspective to make the Lone Ranger look like a freaking moron because Tonto's the guy handling it all. And it's like, if you would have heard it from the Lone Ranger's perspective, you would have had a whole different movie. And that's why I hate movies like that, personally. It's like, just tell me the movie omnisciently.
Just tell me the story.
And don't give me those point of view problems, because those are great in little inset snippets. I don't want to see it throughout the whole movie, because the whole movie gets stilted like that.
I agree with you, Sean, and I'm hoping, and for Geek Illustrator Dad, I haven't watched Christian Harloff's show, and so somebody who watched it on that show said it was more like Love and Thunder. I do listen to Campia, and Campia's source said Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm just gonna hope that that it leans more to Guardians of the Galaxy territory, because that'll do what Sean's talking about. Like, it's just a story. There's no dependency on translating a perspective. Mm-hmm. It's just the story of these people, and I'm hoping that that's what the Masters of the Universe movie does. Is it just tells a straight story, just like what we're used to watching in fantasy and action and sci-fi. Show us what's happening as if we're the omniscient narrator, as if we are the ones translating the information that's being shown to us. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy's movies. They're some of the best superhero movies ever made, and they have a lot of heart. There are some flaws, but there's a lot of heart. There's a lot of understanding of the ridiculousness of the whole concept of superhero movies in general, and that goes a long way for me. So if there's an underlying understanding that Travis Knight is trying to like show us, like, I understand how weird this shit is that you're about to see, that you're watching right now. I understand how weird this is. Just go with me. Just trust me on this. Then that's gonna really work for me. You show us weird stuff to be weird, like it's gonna be more like Love and Thunder, maybe. What was that, Sean?
Yeah, I agree. The one thing that I'm really hoping is that they don't play a Cat Stevens song in this movie, because I don't want to have to bawl my eyes out like I did at the end of Volume 2. That thing hit me like a ton of bricks, and I did not know that's where they were going with that movie until it hit, and I'm like, oh dear God.
I don't know. I mean, that was a pretty smart move, and it affects me every single time too, Sean. Mm-hmm. And if you have any, he
might have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy.
Oh man, that kills me every time. Also, I'm Mary Poppins. What does it say?
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Yondu. If there's a Yondu in this movie, if Man at Arms is a Yondu in this movie, I'm all for it. And
what if Zodak is Yondu?
Oh, I would love it. I would love it.
Yondu kind of looks like pre-Trapjaw Cronus a little bit.
Oh yeah, it does a little bit. Yeah.
I want to see him in the Roton with a whole bunch of kitschy little collectibles in front of his windshield, and he's like using his the clamp or whatever to position them where he wants them to be before battle.
Yeah, there are two characters in the Masters of the Universe lineup that are toy collectors for sure. One's Trapjaw and one's Triclops. Like, they collect toys. You know that they collect trinkets. Yep. And they have them in their little offices in Snake Mountain. You know that's the truth. And then in Geek Illustrated Dad's the Lone Ranger film was awful. I have not watched it since it first came out. So there's something to be said about that. Yeah, I don't know. My daughter uses this phrase, used to use this phrase a lot. She's going to be embarrassed that I even said it now. But I'm nerve-sighted. This is a My Little Pony reference. I'm nerve-sighted about the Masters of the Universe movie. And I think at this point I'm more excited than nervous, but I'm still super nervous. There's a lot at stake here.
I don't think about it. When I see it, I'll think about it.
You guys are better than me. I can't.
I can't wig out on a movie. It just too much to go on in life that I have to worry about a movie that's coming out. You know,
you're absolutely right, Bobby. There's so much that I should be thinking about.
Yeah.
But this is a good distraction. And honestly,
I mean, you're on that hunt to see that Bigfoot's real, for crying out loud.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'm like, what? How hard is it to just get some? What was that joke? Somebody made a joke. I don't know if it was a Far Side comic, or maybe it wasn't. No one can capture footage of Bigfoot because Bigfoot is already blurry.
Yeah.
But I know that this is the Masters of the Universe movie is not Bigfoot for me. It's gonna happen. I'm just hoping that it's not horrible, and that my biggest fear is that these screenings involved plants that are giving the wrong information to the public, and that terrifies me, because it's hard to trust what you hear online and in this day and age, and it's hard to know what's real and what's not, and what's altered to, we're surrounded by false information constantly and sneaky lies.
Seriously? Where did you hear that from?
Yeah. Well, it's there.
Everything out there is true. You got to remember that. If you see it on the internet, you see it on TV, it's true.
Yeah. We don't know what
we've been ingrained that since we were kids. Come on now.
Yeah. What they say is real. That's yeah. I don't know.
I always take it as, it's something that's coming out. I'll check it out if I want to, and if it's not good, it's not good. I don't have any expectations for anything anymore. So
that's good. That's a good perspective to have, Bobby, because then you're not going to be disappointed. You just move on.
I mean,
but not everybody can be.
Yeah, I know.
Not everybody can be Clint Eastwood and just stroll through town and be like, yeah, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
I wish I could be like that. I just
well, I think what it is you have hopes that it brings in more fans and gets bigger and huge, like Star Wars or something like that.
That's part of it.
And if it fails, then you're worried that a lot of people are gonna not care about Masters anymore.
Well, I can tell, just so to be really honest, if this movie fails, that means there's going to be less product that I'm going to be tempted to buy.
Exactly.
And I'm kind of okay with that, to be honest with you at this stage.
Well,
like, seriously, I will love the movie even if it's shitty. I will. And I will probably own a copy of it. And if it's so bad, I'll proudly own a copy of it.
I have a copy of the first movie, and I still haven't opened it yet. How bad the movie is. I hate it. I have it. I got it for Christmas a few years back.
I love that movie, and it's not a great movie, but I have a deep affection for it. So I will grow to have affection for this one. If it kills the Masters of the Universe line, I'll be sad, because it's such an important IP to me and to all of us here.
Well, I mean, the toys have been around a lot longer now, the modern ones, compared to the vintage stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Sean, you were going to say something a little bit ago.
I don't remember what I was going to say.
Sorry.
Basically, I guess Bobby's Clint Eastwood about this. I'm middle of the road guy, I guess. I'm the guy who's like, well, I'm not getting the version that I always hoped for, because that version is not going to exist due to that wasn't what we were brought up with.
Yeah.
And so my dog in this race at this point is, show me a trailer. Let me see what you want to do with this. Does it feel right to me with what my take is, but also what other people are going to say this is going to work or whatever. And from that perspective, then I'll start getting more and more wound up about it. It's sort of like, to to be honest, I mean, here I go again, but it is like Superman this summer for me, where there's a lot of people out there that they could probably give two shits about Superman because he's not Batman. We had that comparison.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that, oh well, he's too powerful and he's too this and he's too that. But go sit down and watch that movie and you're sitting there going, wow, this is actually fun. Like Superman can be fun again and all this. And for me, it's like I was invested in that movie more than I'm invested in this one right now because I don't have much to go on yet.
Yeah.
But when I start getting more and more things, I'm going to get more and more like, well, maybe it is going to be something special. Just like, Superman was special to a lot of people this summer. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But I think what matters right now, no matter what, because in Superman, there was give me a scene to make me believe in the hope again. And they did that with the part with the kids raising the Superman S when the war was about to start. And in this one, it's going to be if he raises the power sword and delivers the incantation, and it blows the roof off the joint. That's going to be the moment where I'm like, I believe again. Like this is actually going to work for me. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think that like, at least for you and I, Sean, I know we were sort of in the same boat. Like the Superman movie, we're already fans of Superman, so this trailer better be good. And then the trailer really kind of like, oh fuck, this can be good. And so that's what I'm hoping we'll get with the trailer for this movie. If we don't get that, I'm still gonna see it. If I'd also be okay with just like a teaser too, like just a shot of Grayskull or something, or I have the power of the moment or something like, or just like, the silhouette of Skeletor walking toward Eternos or something simple like that. That will get me really excited too. But if they give us a trailer that's like the Batman versus Superman trailer that shows us everything from beginning, middle to end of the film, I'm going to be pissed because I don't want to know that there's a doomsday at the end of this movie in the trailer. Like I want there to
Wonder
just
Woman.
or Wonder Woman, I don't want it all. So I'm hoping, and it seems to me like the director understands what to do. So I'm just anxious to see what comes. What are your thoughts, Adam?
So I'm a little bit more like Sean. I'm just like, let's see. I don't like. To me, this isn't make or break. My gut feeling is it'll probably be fun. It probably won't be like my favorite or like one that's like my preferred or whatever. Yeah. But it'll probably be fun. It'll probably be decent.
Yeah.
And if it does that, then it basically did its job. But my fandom is always going to be in past stuff. It's never like hanging on the latest movie or latest comic book or anything like that.
Yeah, that's how I am too. I'm at peace with what I like about it.
I mean, we had news just today. I want to say today or yesterday about the new ongoing Dark Horse series.
Adam, you posted a clip on He-Man.org. And it's about this new ongoing comic series. We've been talking about that on here. Like we really want. Why does every comic book series from Masters of the Universe have to be this like 6-issue or 7-issue short thing that doesn't really go anywhere and leaves us feeling lost and sad afterward? So I'm excited about that.
I'll be that guy out of the group, and I'll just say it right now. When I saw the created, Riley Brown is a great artist for the book because he has definitely put Masters of the Universe stuff out there just by doing sketches and stuff online. And I'm like, oh, he's got a good knack for this. But when I saw it was Tim Seeley as the writer, I put my head in my hands and I'm like, the dude can't write himself out of a freaking wet paper bag every time.
I knew you were going to say this.
Come out. I'm sorry. I've done it on Legends, and I'm going to say it here. It's like he has a knack for knowing certain things, but when it comes to actually writing a good story, I have yet to read a good Masters of the Universe story by him. That's my biggest issue with it.
You know what I thought too, because I heard your voice in my head when I read that article. I did, because I I've honestly, I haven't collected all the comics from that, that Tim Seeley's been involved in, and nor have I collected in many of the, contemporary Masters comics at all. So when I think about your critique, I think, well, maybe that's what Tim Seeley needs, is an open-ended storyline that can evolve and change and never have to conclude, because I think that's always been the main complaint that you and Matt and the Dooch have talked about.
That is my biggest complaint. It's he's actually said in interviews he'll just start writing, and it sounds like he has a basic idea in his head of what he's going to do, but he doesn't map it out. So then when he gets to the end of these mini series, the last issue is him cramming so much into it that by the end you're like, how the hell did this happen? Because it had to, not because the story necessarily went there in a good way. It was shoehorned in because it had to, or whatever, and that drives me nuts personally. I feel like sometimes he could pull back and make things a little simpler, and it might be better for it, but I think he loves just throwing everything in the kitchen sink into some of these things.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm excited about a series that could potentially go on for years.
Sure. Yeah.
And that is more exciting to me than any trope utilized to look at Masters through a new lens, or bring in a new angle or new exciting thing. Like, I don't know, how did this start out, Adam? There was like the Sword of
Sword of Flaws.
Sword of Flaws. As soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, another 7-issue series that I'm not going to be interested in. And but the fact that they use the word ongoing makes me more intrigued.
Yeah, I think it's gonna, like, the Sword of Flaws will kind of morph into something else that's like the ongoing, right?
That's what it seems to be. Yeah, and I have to say, I love the two covers that I saw posted on He-Man.org today. I mean, those two covers, I was like, that's what I want to see. That merman is beautiful. Like, that's the merman I want to see in the movie. That's the merman I want to see in comics. Like, it's just great,
But it is good to see them not have to pair Masters with something else in order to try to make that a selling point too.
It's
which
driving me crazy.
Justice, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just
it doesn't.
He-Man and Masters on their own are perfect to do their own book. Why do you need to keep cramming together things like that?
It's almost like they don't.
They don't.
I think part of it is not trusting the IP and the fans.
That's my problem with it. It's like, and just let it be.
You got to. That's what I'm hoping that Travis Knight is doing. I'm hoping Travis Knight has the guts and the wherewithal to be like, this IP is what it is. Those toys were amazing to me as a kid. Those mini comics were fun. Like, this movie should just be this. It doesn't have to be anything else. So here's to hoping. Right? Yeah. So I don't know. I think this is going to be exciting. This is going to be a really fun year for Masters fans to see how things emerge. One of the guys on the John Campea show said that when he saw the costumes, the Masters of the Universe costumes at CinemaCon last, like we're talking about a year ago at this point. I think it was in Las Vegas this time last year or something. When they saw the costumes, he thought, and this is a guy who collects like sideshow collectibles type of toys. He said that he can't wait for the plastic representation of these versions of the characters. I don't know what that means. I think for every single person in this room, everybody here, Adam, me, Bobby, Sean, I think we all love the vintage figures. Yeah. Sean, I know you're a fan of the Mondo figures. Mm-hmm. And I think that, and I know we all appreciate classics as well. And if anything strays from that, I think we're going to accept it, but we're probably not going to be that excited if it's too different. It'd be interesting to see how that all evolves too. I don't want to see Masters die with this movie. I want to make that clear. I was kind of talking about
that's why I said to you earlier.
I know.
I knew it.
I am okay with being able to take a break. Because I know in some capacity, and this is just because we've lived long enough to see this, it will come back if this movie fails. Something will happen down the line, and our excitement will reemerge. And
I'll tell you, it's liberating because I've been on a break from it for like 3 years now.
Yeah, you've been on a long break from the collecting thing.
Yeah.
And that's honorable, and I'm okay with like things chilling out in the toy arena, because I'm a sucker for, you put out an amazing Batman Returns action figure, I'm gonna be a sucker for it. You put out an amazing, what was that? I'm sad I missed this, but the Max Fleischer Superman action figure from McFarlane. Mm-hmm. I missed it, but I'm going to be a sucker for it. They put out the 1977 Spider-Man action figure from Hasbro. That I'm a sucker for that. Mm-hmm. I can't. So I'm the same way with everything Masters. So I'm going to be tempted by everything. There's a new sketchbook series, He-Man, coming out, and I thought of you, Adam.
Yep.
I thought this is something that Adam's going to probably want to get, and it's definitely something that I'm interested in getting.
Anything Mark Taylor or Fredo Alcala, yeah, I get that. I don't get most of Origins, but I will pick that up.
Yes, right? And I have the sketchbook series Spike-Or, and it's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. So it'll be interesting to see how it evolves. I don't want to see that end, but I do. There is a part of me that's like, I'm okay. I could just go back in time and pick up old stuff. What's that?
This is the new the retro punching, which is flawed but fun. So if they did more of this, then I would definitely. But I hope like the colors are a little off. So if they tighten that up, but
yeah, and they still can't get the face like to be.
Yeah, the face is a little soft. The sculpt.
Yeah, it's soft. Soft is the best word for it. But I mean, look at that battle axe, though. That's basically the vintage battle axe back there.
Yeah, they did most of it pretty well. Like for whatever reason they messed up on the harness. It's not like they put too many squares on it. They didn't get the raised section in the middle that's supposed to be there. But I don't know. There was an attempt.
They
but
tried.
I don't know. I'm a sucker for the vintage format. So
yeah,
they'll probably get me if they make more of these.
Yeah, and that's sort of like the commemorative series. If they'd continued that, that would have been amazing, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they'll do that eventually with all this.
Yeah.
We'll
see.
I do like the Skeletor that comes in that 2-pack. I keep, fawning over that. Let's get a look at that. Yeah, he's pretty good. And I'm glad they didn't do more paint apps like we saw in other images, that they just left that additional pink little spot right there in the front as like the main addition to the paint applications. And they did the pink cheeks on there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice.
Yeah. Maybe they are paying more attention to what the fans want now that they've realized that they're finding some success with this. I keep seeing those on the shelf at Target, and I'm gonna try and swoop one up if they go on clearance. But I'm not gonna get it yet. $50 is. I know. Like I know a lot of people spend $50 on toys all the time. I just, and I will do it sometimes, but it's got to be spectacular for me to get it. And now that I finally have a complete vintage He-Man and a complete vintage Skeletor, even though it's not pink cheek Skeletor, they're just beautiful.
Yeah.
Nothing matches. Nothing matches.
The vintage ones are definitely superior to these ones.
And maybe that's just because we grew up with it, right?
Yep.
Maybe, but like the vintage ones have more detail. Like these are softer detail. They have, I don't know, the colors are better. Like these ones, obviously they put a little bit more money into the paint deco. Like there's extra details, but I don't know. There was some magic, whatever they were smoking at Mattel in 1981 when they were coming up with this stuff.
Yeah, maybe reefer, maybe Benzedrine or something.
Maybe.
Oh no, definitely maybe cocaine or something. I don't know. What did you say, patchouli? Yeah,
they were huffing patchouli before they made Staincore, and they're just like, you know what? Let everybody else smell our success.
Yeah.
I swear, I thank Mattel almost on a daily basis for giving me the gift of patchouli, because my parents were free thinkers, but they weren't hippies per se. And so I didn't really grow up around patchouli, but for some reason, it came back hard in the 90s, with the neo hippie movement and the grunge and all that stuff happening at the same time. And it really worked for me. Punk girl walks by wearing patchouli. I'm like, yeah, I'm basically fainting from my crush. But that I can thank Mattel and I can thank Stinkor for that, really, and I can thank punk rock. Maybe those are the three things.
You smell like a toy skunk. I love you.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys, this was fun. Anything exciting going on with you all? Anything exciting coming up? Adam, I know you have a lot on your plate. What's coming up on the Battle Ram blog or He-Man.org front?
I just did 2 Battle Ram blog articles in a row about the stuff that I covered today, which was the marketing thing, and then those new toys that just came out. So I don't have anything planned there right now because I just kind of did what I wanted to do. But He-Man.org, I'm constantly uploaded some comics. I've uploaded some classics, prototype pictures today. Like if you look on the front page, you can see there's like a running. It'll show you what most recent posts are and the recent news articles, and you can kind of see at a glance like what we've been putting on there.
Cool. Yeah, folks, definitely visit Battle Ram blog and He-Man.org. Those websites are constantly, and even if you've visited those websites many times before, you're always going to find something new, deep in the archives. So for sure. Sean, Bobby, I know you guys are chilling out a little bit and stuff. Bobby, I know you've been working on a project, haven't you?
A project.
Mm-hmm.
What am I working on?
Mm-hmm. You mentioned a little something.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm writing stories. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm writing stories for Duchess's channel that she
Cool.
narrates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And, yeah, my stuff I'm still taking a hiatus on for a while yet. I'm just life's got to get back to normal for me. So
yeah, for sure.
And it's going to be here pretty soon. So yeah, it's going to be nice. Yeah.
You see the horizon is clear now.
Yeah.
That's really important, and that's good. It's good to hear that too. I mean, not that anyone needs to hear this, but you know, it's the most important thing that we should be doing for ourselves is getting our situations in order with our family and with our loved ones and all that stuff. And if we're letting all of that deteriorate around us because we're more interested in Masters of the Universe or something, then there's a problem. So here in the frenzy, at least, at the very least, we all put all that stuff as a priority. So I'm glad. That's good to hear, Bobby.
Yeah, thank you.
And folks should go over to Duchess of Darkness's channel and subscribe because there's good scary stuff happening over there all the time. And Sean, how about you? Anything exciting going on?
Deadlines, sleep, deadlines, sleep, and kids, family, kids. And all that. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
yeah. That's the best, man. Giraffe says happy and healthy life brings more time for collecting Motu. Yeah, you can look at it that way.
I'm sorry to say, but I got rid of most of my stuff except for the vintage stuff. So yeah.
I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings out there that's collecting all this stuff, but you hold on to the vintage stuff. That's the gold right there. I mean, I've thought about it many times too. Like, what would I get rid of? Never does my vintage stuff come into play.
No,
I can't possibly part with my vintage Star Wars or my vintage Masters of the Universe stuff because it just means too much to me. The other stuff is fun, and there's a place for fun, and fun is valuable emotionally but I think when it comes down to it, if this house caught on fire, I make sure everybody that's alive in this house, my dog included, is safe.
Yeah.
And if I have an extra moment, then maybe some vintage action figures, But the newer stuff,
it's all stuff. I watched this guy on. He collects vinyl records forever.
Yeah.
And he said that he's older than me, and he said something about how he was like, I mean, he's like big in record collecting, and he was selling stuff, and he had some of his fans ask, "How can you get rid of all that stuff?" And he's like, "It's just things."
Yeah.
He's like, "It's just things."
Yeah.
So I was like, and that's when I got rid of most of my stuff this past couple months. It's been it's been easier to think it that way, especially when you're moved 3 times. It's hard to drag that shit around, but
it's quite freeing. I've gotten rid of things. When I got rid of my Eternia playset and I traded it in for some cash and a Millennium Falcon, it felt pretty good, and so it can be unexpectedly freeing. You don't think you'll be able to live without some of this stuff, but
that's true.
But you can.
Yeah, I got rid of most of my comics. I got rid of a lot of stuff. So you realize you don't need it when it's gone. It's like that's fine.
Yeah, family.
This will be coming to your way.
I love it. Thank you. That's I of all the 2000X figures, that's my favorite one. The design of that merman is spectacular. So thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a NECA Staction Clawful up here. And
I got rid of that too.
That's spectacular.
Yeah.
I'd have a hard time getting rid of that. The NECA Staction Stinkor is up here too. I'd have a hard time getting rid of that.
That's a good one. I always wanted that one, but it's hard to find it without the pieces broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That day that I found it was the last PowerCon in California, and I found it there for a real good price. And minutes after that, I got to chat with the Dooch, and that was a double reward for that day. Nice. All right. For me, let's see. There's a Motuniverse convention happening in California in May. That's only a month before the movie comes out. Less than that, because it's late May. Memorial Day weekend at the Torrance Marriott in Southern California. So I'm excited about that, and I'm working on building some potential constructions